Hey, Gumby. Quick on the draw, man. Nerd! Shut up, baby. I know it. Hey, spoiler, what's up, man? All right, one sec, guys. Get something set up, and then we'll kick it off. Hey, Dan, what's up, man? Happy Tuesday. Tuesday News Day. And my man Euler coming in, making it rain with pennies. Love you too, boo.
Incoming transmission from E_Euler.
Hack the planet! There it is, Dev. I was waiting for the hack the planet. I knew it was coming in there. One sec, guys. Getting set up. The Stream Deck is unfortunately still MIA. And just acting a fool. I have no idea what's going on with it. It'll probably stay broken until I get a new computer. Which, if the RTX 5090 prices are to be anything related to it, will be never. Let's kick this. See, I can't do my cool little slide effect. That's what makes me sad. Hang on. Can I do that? What if I do this? There we go. I can do it that way. But I don't have my cool little button on the Stream Deck, and that's what makes me sad. Glitching out. I'm glitching out. Okay. What's up, everyone? Hope you're all having a good Tuesday. Good news. I went and saw the new doctor today for my back. He is a bona fide badass. We get along great. He was a martial artist also, and totally into the biohacking stuff like I am. So we had a cool little bromance going. It'll be badass. Got some next steps kind of set up in place and some exercises to do, hopefully to get everything sorted out before the new threat actor to my sleep appears. Have I tried turning it off again? Why, yes. Oh, great IT Swami. I have tried turning it off and on again. Thank you. It's actually going to be a pretty light news night. There was no update from last week in security. I don't think there's been a ton going on right now, but that's fine. Because actually I wanted to dig in tonight into doing a little bit of work on Coercer. Coercer is a really cool tool for basically expanding on the original idea that Petit Patam did, right? My little hippo. So I figure we'll just hop right in and then we'll fire up a lab to kind of test that out. We'll do a very basic AD lab for it. All right, so if you didn't hear about this, Doge.gov's website got defaced because the coders, I guess, put it up in too big of a hurry. Now, one thing, I don't know if it's mentioned in here. It's mentioned in Ars Technica. But a couple of other guys on Twitter were talking about that the same guys that built the Doge site were people that Elon Musk had contracted before. So that led me to the reasonable conclusion, like, hey, did they do this on any other sites by accident? And nobody's just noticed? So you'd hope if they made the same error here, they'd go fix it in the others. But I wasn't about to go burn cycles looking through it. What did Doge do now? Would you believe that if you went back in time, I think it was what? I don't know, 2006, 7? When the Doge meme, the dog-e? You didn't know that. That's not Doge, really. It's dog-e, but everybody just says the Doge. This little guy right here would cause so many people to just lose their minds on to the happy side and to the downside about what's happening in government. Truth truly is stranger than fiction, my folks. Yeah, they left the database open. We'll give this one a quick read through. It's not a long story, basically. In fact, I don't even want to read through it. Let's just go look at the defaced website. The gist of it is like what Pina was just saying. Yeah, they left the database open. They went and edited the database. So let's go see what Archive had for the defaced website. What do we got here? Okay, hold on. Okay, let's go see what the actual website looks like real quick. Doge.gov. Because I've never been to it. I don't know it. Okay. Looks about like this. Okay. What is this one here? I'm not going to click it down the link. Oh, yeah. These experts left their database open. Nice. I mean, they did. I was like, come on, guys. This is what you expect. This is a joke of a .gov site. Is that really all they could put in there? Come on. Surely you could have done more. Could you not have maybe tried to inject some JavaScript to rewrite and actually do a proper defacement? You found the open database. You couldn't do a little bit of web dev. I'm disappointed. My disappointment is immeasurable. But that was the only thing in the news section right here. Let's see. What else was neat in here that I saw it here? Actually, I wanted to read this. This is called the Ghostweaver backdoor. And it's basically like fake pop-up. Like, you know, you get like an update pop-up like, hey, by the way, your software needs to be updated. That's what this was doing. I wanted to take a peek at it. I wonder how they're scraping the data to pull the information. Which information, Pina? Hey, Dad, what's up, man? Oh, I just realized I'm still in. I just realized we gotta change the channel. Software and game dev doesn't quite fit in here tonight. Let me swap that up. We'll go over to just chatting. That works out well for news night. There we go. All right, we'll update that real fast. I guess I didn't say it. I'm a little scatterbrained because I had a lot to go on today. But Dad, thanks for coming online, man. Welcome in. I couldn't remember if I said it or not. All right, let's see. In this article, Track Labs will cover the infection chain observed with the sock ghoulish, also being tracked as fake updates. Detection rules are an indicated compromise, yada, yada, yada. All right. Key takeaways. Infection chain starts with a fake browser update delivered via a compromised website and a malicious JavaScript file. Oh, is that it? I thought there was more to this, man. That's the shit I was doing, like when I was doing fake phishing, when I was doing phishing campaigns for my clients. I was told there would be coding. I was lied to. Normally, Dead, there is. And by the way, on the coding front, good news, guys. I think I found a workable solution to the RoboPages class and how to get all the tools prepped for LangChain. I'm not going to submit y'all to that tonight because you have struggled the last 4 streams with me fighting the Python and trying to get it. I think I've got a workable solution. I'm working on it off stream. If it works, I'll cover it on Saturday night stream. But I'm testing it right now. Tonight, I think we're going to do the news. We're going to do a little bit of hacking by coercion, authentication coercion. So we're going to have some fun. Let's see. All right, let's take a look at this. Key takeaways. The infection chain starts with a fake browser update from a malicious JavaScript. Let's see. Minceloader led to the delivery of an obfuscated PowerShell backdoor named Ghostweaver. Ghostweaver backdoor not only maintains continuous authenticated communication with its command and control server, also includes functionalities to generate DGA domains, which is using a fixed seed algorithm. Basically, this is a domain generation algorithm. So what they do is they use a pseudo random number generator, and the domain that they're attacking changes every so often. So it makes it much more difficult to do. However, once you get a hold of the unobfuscated script, you find out what the pseudo random algorithm is. You get the seed value. You can then reproduce it. That's why they're called pseudo random values. I'm Blaze's Python shy. Hey, I was told that my Python skills are perfectly adequate.
She was probably lying.
And yes, Dad, so the Doge website it kind of got hacked. The defacement was like just one little text box in the middle. I don't know what they were trying to do with it and why they didn't do more. I was like, come on, you couldn't do a little JavaScript injection in there? I don't know. I didn't look at the code of the site to see what they could do with it. But there were a couple of funny examples in there. By the way, my second EDR exploit has worked so far. One's a full crash. Hey, I'll take a full crash. Get rid of that damn EDR. And it's working on. Oh, you're working on the reliability now. Nice. On my current red team, I've been going up against CrowdStrike, and it's the first time doing that, and it is being an absolute jerk. It's being very rude. Oh, look at this. So this actually says not only were they using those domain generation algorithms, but they deliver additional payloads via remote commands and bypass certificate validation, leveraging the remote certification validation callback. Oh, nice. That's handy. Let's see. Multiple delivered plugins are designed to target sensitive information, including credentials from popular browsers. That's actually, I tell you what, guys, everybody who's worried about their computer's been compromised, this is the big thing that a lot of these thieves are after. They want your browser cookies. They want your session tokens so they can go get into your stuff. That's what they want. They want to get into your emails so they can go spam the shit out of people. They want to get into your crypto wallets if you left those signed in, if you left, like Coinbase or whatever logged in. That's what they're going after. That's the big thing for them. I freaking hate CrowdStrike. You and me both, Dan. Jeez. Ooh. Hang on to that, Pina. We'll get to that after this one, because I didn't see that. Yeah, Dead, the bearer tokens. That's exactly what they want. Get those nice, juicy... Okay, I need to do a quick impromptu poll in the chat, guys. How do you pronounce JWT? Do you just say JWT? Do you do a dwit? A jwit? A jawut? I've heard... We had a recent discussion about this, and now I'm dying to know, because I always just said JWT. Just say the letters. Yeah, exactly. Thank you. Same thing with ACL. Guys, how do you pronounce ACL when you're talking to somebody? Do you say ACL? Do you say ACL? ACL? The first time I heard somebody say, for a conditional access control list, cackles, I just about died, because I thought they were talking about like cankles, right? Like where you don't have any ankles anymore, right? It's because it's supposedly it's French, Dead. That's what they say. I call it Godot because I'm a filthy American. I'm a filthy Texan, really. And so we just butcher words anyway for fun. ACL, but not for DACL. I say deckle. Or for eye cackles. Yeah. Eye cackles. That cracks me up too, because it sounds like you're using like dark magics and you're like, I can't do the witch laugh, but you know what I'm talking about. Okay, I will give you that. For ICACLs, I will say eye cackles for that one. That's the one. Dackles, though, throws me off. Oh, that's funny. Wasm's the only one I say how it's spelled. I agree with that one, yes. I like to say, there was a recent discussion about that too with OSINT. It was like, do you say OSINT, like open source intelligence? You say OSINT? I like to say OSourceInt, just to throw people off. Because then they really don't know want to know what to make of it. It's always SQL, IOFOL. SQL is always SQL. And if it's MS SQL, it's MS SQL. Although I want to say it's like missed SQL. Like they could have done good SQL and they just made MS SQL. All right, Medium, your little headers are killing me. All right, let's look at what these threat actors are doing. Let's see. It says look at recently. Oh, I missed a page here. Threat actors responsible for distributing sock ghoulishes tracked under various aliases such as Gold Prelude, TA51, UNC, Mustard Tempest. I think they're trying to give these threat actor groups stupid names to dissuade them from doing this work. It's like, you are now Dumb Panda, right? Or you are now, your name is now Stinky Toadfish. I think if you start giving threat actors those kind of names, they're going to be seriously dissuaded from doing stuff. Or if they become really bad, it's going to sound even worse, right? It's like the bunny from Monty Python, right? Is it behind the bunny? It is the bunny. You never thought bunnies were scary until Monty Python. Admit it. What is PostgreSQL? That's exactly how I say it. PostgreSQL. Or I just say post. I actually do like squeal better also. I'm going to start calling it that. And in fact, I'm about to pop a squeal server on my current pen test, and during the technical readout, I'm going to call it that. Yes, we managed to compromise your MS squeal server. I will usually call it Postgres as well, Dan. Yeah. No way. CrowdStrike sells action figures for APTs? What? That's some hella good marketing. CrowdStrike. Hold on. I gotta look at this. APT action figures. Because I'm going to open an Etsy store if this is the case. Hold on. I want to see these. Come on, you gotta have Lucy. Is it under the kids section? Because that's where I would put it. Wait, I think I just saw it. Clicked too early. Adversary figurines. Okay, at least you got a cool name for them. What do we got here? We got spidered cat. That looks pretty cool. Aquatic panda. Wizard spider. Spectral kitten. See, you're not going to dissuade these people from doing nefarious shit online by giving them cool names like this. You got to make them have stupid names. Your name is now Thundering Toad. I don't know why I'm sticking with toads tonight. I'm not very creative. Hey, Tiger, what's up? Yeah, the bunny. Run away! Yeah, this site kind of makes my eyes bleed a bit. The layout of it is not super friendly. Damn, that should be like one of my next things right there. Hey, just suggest an APT name and just start coming up with the most condescendingly cute names and start naming all the threat actor groups that, and they'll quit. It's like, yeah, guys, look what we just did. We just hacked this company. What the fuck? Who's Fluffy Bunny? Why are they hacking this shit? I'm not Fluffy Bunny. I'm supposed to be Aquatic Panda. I'll go. I think Twinkle Toads would work out pretty good. There, Dev. Just give them a hashed MD5 name. That would be painful, egos. Festering Toe Jam. Yes, that's what I'm talking about. Something like that. APT Squeaky Wheel. Yes, you guys got the spirit. Exactly. He's giving names like Spectral Kitten. Of course they're going to keep you on that. It's like, I'm very stealthy. I'm climbing through your networks. He's climbing through your networks. He's snatching your files up. Better hide your dit, hide your Sam, hide your dit, hide your Sam. Festering Ferret. I love the alliteration too. APT Tiny Violin. Oh, I love these names. You guys rock. All right, let's see. So they're talking about fake update. You download upstate $1 zip. I'm curious about this though because the zip files, they fixed the issue. I think it was an issue a while ago with Windows. You'd load up a zip file and it would take the bark of the web off. So I'll tell you this one too. I purposefully would keep my DMs open in Discord to catch spammers. And so they'd come hit me up and like, oh, hey, by the way, there was an update for MetaMask wallet. I was like, all right, yeah, cool. Let me see your phishing site. It was really funny because you'd go download their payload and it's like 150 megs. But you'd go download the Linux one. They had the legit Linux one on there and it's like 12 megs. I was like, well, isn't that just a dead giveaway? Don't you think you'd want to bloat the Linux one too, you jackass? No respect for Linux. APT single losers. The Crypt Kitties. I like the idea. Yeah, I think I want to do that. If I ever get to name an APT group, I'm going to just call them Basement Trolls. That's what I'm going to call them, the Basement Trolls. Let's see. I forgot to tell you about the web shell. According to the client, the subdomain was out of scope. What? That's some bullshit. I hate when they do that. You get like a good finding on a client system, and they're like, "Oh yeah, that one was out of scope. We just forgot to tell you." It's like, well, it's in scope now. Let's see. All right, so what did they do here? They're glossing over the initial infection chain because honestly, this is not a novel approach. I think everything they're doing post this is the novel approach. This is the shit I would go set up for clients when I do phishing campaigns with them. Let's see. It's worth noting the zip file and the JavaScript files contain Cyrillic characters, so keep that in mind when conducting threat hunting. Ah, interesting. That's very interesting. Okay. I haven't seen a lot of letter swapping like this. This was more common back in the day, when it was actually about the time that UTF-8 came out. I honeypot my ENV path with a 500 gig ASCII text dong file. Oh, damn, I love that. That's awesome. That sucks, Dan. Took over everything, and then it was out of scope. Oh, God, I hate that. Call it Z's state losers. Yeah, that would actually probably piss him off. Oh, dude, if you ever, like, did, like, your attribution, you tracked them back to, like, being in China, just call them the Tiananmen rejects. That would be hilarious. I love this idea. All right, let's think of what they did in the post-exploitation phase, because their initial infection phase was pretty lackluster. All right, so the malicious JavaScript file gets executed, PowerShell session is spawned to run obfuscated PowerShell commands. Command retrieves a payload from some website disguised as an SVG, executes it with invoke expression. This is like kitty level stuff. I mean, how are you not flagging IEX invokes? Unfortunately, retrieving the SVG file from the server was unsuccessful. However, based on public findings, Track Labs assessed with high confidence the file is the mince loader, a multi-stage JavaScript loader. 3 minutes after retrieving and running the loader file in memory, another PowerShell command is spawned to deploy Boink, which was previously seen reported by Huntress as part of the Socklefish. I actually don't remember what Boink is. I remember Loink from back in the day. Any of y'all remember what Loink is? Low orbit ion cannon? Let's see. Do Boink volunteer computing software. What is Boink? I want to see what that is. They don't mention it. They just mentioned that it was used before. Lame. Huntress is John. That's John Hammond's outfit that he works at. They do some really cool threat hunting. Let's see. Boink can be leveraged to gain remote access to a machine to perform reconnaissance, file transfers, and manipulation of running tasks. Content of 1.php script revealed contains a PowerShell script. It decrypts 2 blobs of data with a hard-coded XOR key, as shown below. So the first blob decrypts data in the archive containing Boink-related files. They're boinking the system. And the second blob of data contains logic for installation and persistence. Okay. Second set of data contains the installation logic. Let's see, what are they doing here? Registry path. Wait, hold on, what do they do? It's responsible for decrypting the registry path. Oh, they had the registry path encrypted in the document. Gotcha. Okay. Function install generates a bunch of random folders and app data. Function deletes the zip archive and any PowerShell scripts in the temp directory. So they're trying to hide their tracks a little bit. Let's see. They set up persistence using a schedule task created with a random name. So either Google Maintenance or Mozilla Update Service or Cleanup Manager Task, Service Health, System Health Service. I'm going to tell you this right now. If I ever see a service name with an underscore in it, I'm going to know that shit is sus as hell. I'm going to delete that. So, a little bit of a swing and a miss. Humans put spaces in there. Scripts put underscores. You called it Loic? Loinc's now on GitHub? No way. Also, Cypher, I just saw yours. The Disciples of Pooh. Pooh's Pansies. That'd be another good one. Oh, yeah. Rocking those green Jackos, which you can't even see because of the green screen. You can kind of barely see it. Look at that. That's funny. The can's transparent. Not sponsored by Jocko yet. All right, let's see. So what do they do here? Where's the fun stuff they do after this? Ooh, what is this? So we know that the Azure Get DCR resource is not an existent PowerShell commandlet, so how can the threat actor be executing this malicious command? So opening PowerShell would give us a hint. The error message below indicates PowerShell is unable to load the profile script because the execution policy in the system is set to restrict running scripts. Okay. So the threat actor must have written the malicious code to profile, which we confirm simply by typing notepad profile. Now that makes sense too. Oh, that's a pretty cool idea for getting around that too. So if they have script execution prevention, but you can write to the profile, which you should be able to, just drop it in there. Okay. What is that? Get DSC resource. What that is? Look for that. Azure get DSC resource. Was that it? Look at what this says real quick. Oh, it's the desired state configuration. That's what I thought. Okay. Commandlet retrieves the PowerShell DSC resource present on the computer. Commandlet discovers only the resources installed with the PS module path. Okay. So that's interesting. They're looking for Azure components as well. BOINC, short for the Berkeley Open Infrastructure Network Computing Client, is an open source volunteer computing platform maintained by the University of California. Oh, you know what? I forgot about that program. Yeah. With an aim to carry out large-scale, highly distributed high-throughput computing using participating home computers. Yeah, I forgot about that. The Free Rainbow Tables project used to use that back in the day before GPUs really took off. Let's see. I wonder if they were doing distributed crypto mining too. All right, so there's the Ghost Weaver backdoor. What else they got going on here? This is a long-ass article, so I'm just going to kind of skim it real fast. Let's see. Backdoor obtains a public IP address for the host. Let's see. Authentication occurs through a detailed client information packet. All right. So it looks like they probably might be running their own C2. Let's see. Backdoor accepts command packets. Send plugins. Okay, so you can send new plugins, self-delete, get client info, or ping the C2. The Juniper Stealers of .NET Stealer leverages process injection to retrieve Chrome cookies. Yeah, so if you're not familiar with this, so they changed the implementation of Chrome quite a bit to where now it's not using, gosh, what's it using? I want to say it's using the TPM now. And so for the TPM, shit, I missed this, the ad snooze. Damn it. Yeah, Tiger, that's what I was thinking about. It was like what they used in the SETI project. Oh, so desired state configuration is like Microsoft's version of Puppet or Chef. I think so. Hold on. I gotta see if that's on. I want to look and see if Link is on GitHub. Well, we're letting the ads run. Man, this was from way back in the day. HiveMind in hidden mode, yeah. Of course, it was run from IRC. I wish there was like a write-up on what it was, but this was basically the tool that they used for distributed denial of services back in the early anonymous days of 4chan. All right. We'll give this just a second to chill out. Quick. Yep, that'll work. All right. What does with all these Microsoft web devs have to deal with? Oh, wait, hold on. Let me go back a little bit. To be honest, if I were an APT, I'd have to embrace the stupid names and create a logo to go with the ransomware. Just so people had to look at it. Nice. Let's see. Called it low-ick. Yeah. Article link. Oh, yeah, sure. I will drop the article right here. For anybody who wants to read it. I might need to explain IRC to the audience. Ty, I hate that you're right about that. Oh my god. So for all you youngins back there, IRC was Internet Relay Chat, and it's still very much a thing, and it is still where very old people hang out. And it was the predecessor to just about everything for text-based communication between humans online. And yes, Twitch does run IRC in the backend, Cypher. You are correct. So everything you're seeing in the chat here is actually running on that backend. I think, actually, I want to say that it reacts... If I remember, I think there's a slight delay between what you type versus when other users on Twitch see it. So I know, I think Pirate Software actually has his bot scanning the IRC feed to basically block messages and filter out like bad stuff before it even hits the feed. Basically Discord, but all text. Yeah, exactly. If I know what AOL Punter is, does that age me? Yes, that totally ages you. I was surprised when they discontinued AOL Instant Messenger. When did they do it? AOL Instant Messenger discontinued. When was that? Because it was like 2017. Yeah, there we are. I was surprised it was online for that long.
I can't hear you. Sound off like you got a pair.
Oh, bullshit, Euler. You give me trust issues. Used to hang out on Anon's IRC. I never did. I had a bunch of local folks that I hung out on IRC with that were like in the local DEF CON and 2600 groups. Used Trillion IRC for a hot minute there. I was always like a Merc MIRC lamer. That's always what I used. I wasn't cool enough for anything else. Let's see. Actually, there was something really cool they did here. So they used the Juniper Stealer in here. Now for Outlook, so this Stealer recursively scanned register keys under the Outlook profile. It processes a predefined set of values. For any key whose names include the word password, it treated as a stored value of encrypted binary data. Would go steal it. And the reason why they're trying to get these Outlook keys is going to come up here in just a second. It's not just having access to their email. Let's see. Before recovering saved login credentials from Chrome-based browsers installed on the system, it prints the char PSSW. What is that? Stealer formats the stolen token in a readable text file. Okay. Let's see. They hit Brave, Chrome, and Edge. So, actually, yeah, I think they explained it here. Let's see. So the Stealer then proceeded to decrypt the encrypted embedded resources using a hard-coded password for the AES decryption. The decryption process derives the AES key created by creating a SHA-256 hash of the hard-coded password derived from an AES IV by creating an MD5 hash of the same password. It uses the derived value to perform an AES decryption on the embedded resource data. Scroll, damn it. It then creates a name pipe server for Chrome Piper for communicating with the injected payload. Oh, that's pretty cool. Chrome Piper. So the decrypted resource file in Chromium, decryptor written in Rust, payload leverages the browser's native COM-based iElevator service to retrieve and decrypt the app-bound encryption key stores in Chrome's local state file. What about the older versions here? Older versions of Chrome use DPAPI. Yeah, how do you guys say this? Apparently, I got a lot of shit for calling it DPAPI. I was like, I thought that was pretty good. And like everybody at work will just say DPAPI. I'm like, no, it's DPAPI. I did like Arisi, Euler. Eventually, I did move to Arisi. Should do like a weekly history section. That's right, hacker history. Oh, just say it with the first P silent. Dappy. Actually, that kind of works. I kind of like that. I'm going to start calling it Dappy from now on. And I'm just going to wait for people to say, like, what the hell's Dappy? Should cover things like IRC and Cult of the Dead Cow. I will think about that, because there's a lot of deprecated technology that influences current technology stacks that people don't understand. Right? The double penetration API. Damn it, fault. Get it. Be gone. Go. Apple. Degenerates. Not a bad idea, the weekly hacker history segments. I'll have to think about that. I've been wanting to do more videos. I actually, believe it or not, I was thinking about doing a video series for, what is it? Cisco networking, because that is so one of my favorite things, even though I haven't done it in a long time. But my video editor was actually looking at taking Cisco networking courses. He is taking it. And from having watched my streams from when he would cut out videos for me and do stuff, he thought that that would be a good idea. He likes the way I present the material, and a couple other folks have talked about it, so I'm thinking about doing that. When I'm going to get the time, I have no clue. Cult of the Dead Cow was wild. Yeah, they were kind of wild. And they're from here from Texas, too. Texas hackers represent. Let's see. Oh, sorry, I missed what they're doing. So, older versions of Chrome used Dappy. I'm going to start calling it Dappy. I like that name right now. Sounds like one of the Seven Dwarfs. Newer app-bound encryption schemes use a dedicated system privilege level service for key decryption. Payload abuses the mechanism by initiating a COM connection with the browser's elevation service via co-create instance, supplying the appropriate CLS ID and corresponding interface. Okay. Neat. What else are they doing here? Medium, your little header is annoying as shit. Let's see. After successful decryption, the stealer decrypts the cookies based on the browser version. So if it's v20, the stealer uses different methods. What else we got going on here? Tired of stealing cookies. What else we got? Firefox. The stealer uses Firefox network security service library to decrypt the browser's data. Yep, because Firefox is mid. Firefox used to be the shit. Let's see. Pre-grabber plugin. So the initialization sequence begins when the Ghost Weaver receives a plugin command through the C2. This initial packet contains serialized data specifying the target as the Chrome extension IDs. Oh, okay. They're doing this specifically for cryptocurrency wallet targeting. Following hash verification, send plugin response to the C2 transmits the save plugin command, and basically saves all this shit. All right. We can collab on the history since I was there. Ty, I was there, but I was always very ancillary, right? I didn't start. I was always just hanging out with the guys. Like I know guys that did time for doing stuff. I know guys that did a lot of stuff they didn't do time for, but probably should have. And I was just always ancillary to what they do. I always had a fear of getting caught. I just like doing it. And so that's why I like penetration testing, because I can go in and do all the fun stuff that I always wanted to do without going to, federal prison. Mid, that is blasphemy. Dude, I really liked Firefox, but hey, let me show you something. Firefox market share. Browser market share worldwide. Your site gonna load anything? God, you suck. Let's see if the Wikipedia article is worth a damn. This is from December of 2023. Chrome obviously has the biggest share right here. But look at this. Firefox only edges out shit like Opera and Samsung Internet. Look at that. That's the only thing Firefox is really like getting it over on. Even Edge has more adoption than Firefox. Hey, Oni, happy Tuesday, man. All right, I think I'm done with this article because I don't think they're doing anything super awesome with it. There's a couple of other news stories I wanted to get to. Actually, let's look at this one that Pina sent. Get Venom campaign abusing thousands of GitHub repositories to infect users. Ooh, nice. Let's see. See if I can zoom in on this. Will it hide the side? It will if I zoom in like super far. That's annoying. Can kill this. Damn it. Oh well. It's better. That is good. Alright, let's see. So a malware campaign dubbed Get Venom has exploited GitHub's open source ecosystem to distribute malicious code through thousands of fraudulent repositories targeting developers seeking automation tools, cryptocurrency utilities, and game hacks. If you're looking for game hacks on GitHub, you're in the wrong place, man. Campaign's been active since 2023, employs advanced social engineering tactics to disguise malicious payloads as legit projects, compromising systems globally with cryptocurrency stealers and remote access trojans. Standard fare. Let's see. The attackers created hundreds of GitHub repositories containing fake projects for Instagram automation bots, Bitcoin wallet managers, and Valorant hacking tools. Hey, Mr. TikTok, what's up, man? I live on Firefox only, the only browser I'll ever use. Dude, I liked Firefox back in the day. I don't know exactly what happened where they just, all of a sudden, they weren't improving. And every time I try to use Firefox now, I'll tell you this too, like, right, I just pulled up the dev tools over here. I cannot stand the dev tools in Firefox. They're a pain in the ass. And for someone who did a ton of web app pen testing, I can't stand that shit. It drives me nuts. So that's the main reason I don't use it anymore. And then I accidentally started using Edge, and it's actually working really well. So, on my work computer. Let's see. What do they do? So these repositories feature professionally designed README files and installation instructions, version histories, and tags like blockchain and Steam API. Let's see. Structure: the typical malicious repository shows a timestamp. Files updated every few minutes to simulate active development. Oh, that's pretty cool. That's a good idea. Edge is actually pretty good for Microsoft shops. Yeah, it is. And what's funny is we're not even a Microsoft shop. and I still use it because I just didn't feel like installing a new browser. I actually intended to, but it was just working. I put in an ad blocker, and I didn't even notice a difference. I love the Firefox DevTools. Can't stand Edge or Chrome DevTools. Can't find anything. I'm the exact opposite, Euler. I cannot find shit in the Firefox DevTools, and I got it to where I can use the Chrome DevTools really easily now. Which is why I'm happy that they packaged in the Chromium browser with Burp Suite. That's why I like that so much. I use the Workspaces feature. It's like tabs within tabs. I think I saw it, Cypher, but I have not used it. But all I can think now is the meme, yo, dog, I heard you like tabs, so I got tabs for your tabs. About as far as I go is using tab groups. I got like groups of sites like in there together. Honestly, if Palo Alto could stop pen testing my servers, that would be nice. Well, Dad, if you weren't hosting, suspicious stuff, they probably would. I'm just kidding. I kid you now. Yeah, the best tool is the one you feel comfortable with, Ty. Yes, I agree. And sadly, that's not Firefox, because I remember feeling like I was so cool, like I'm running Firefox, screw Internet Explorer. Oh, let's see. All right, so what they got here? So malicious code implanted was varied by programming language. That's pretty badass. Let's see. Security analysts at Sectlist noted that in Python projects, attackers inserted a 2,000 tab indentation followed by a hidden command to install a cryptographic package. What? That's hilarious. Talk about hiding shit in plain sight. The technique bypassed the casual code reviewers by exploiting Python's white space sensitivity. That is my number one bitch about Python. Well, I tell you what, that is my number two bitch about Python. Number one bitch is Python dependencies. But I digress. Let's see. JavaScript repositories contain base64 encoded payloads within seemingly normal functions. That's always sus. Anytime I see random base64 strings in code, I'm like, what you hiding there? With your base64 encryption. Oh, it's not encryption, sucker. Sorry. Anytime someone says base64 encryption, I die a little inside. Oh, they scrape Cloudflare for DNS records. The second I set up a CloudFront, I get hit with pen test. Oh, nice. That makes sense. What do we got here? Okay, so the decoded scripts fetch secondary payloads from attacker-controlled GitHub repository called Battle. So there's a Node.js stealer harvesting credentials, wallet data, and browser histories compressed into a 7-zip. Modified versions of AsyncRat and QuasarRat connect to a C2 server. And there's a clipboard hijacker replacing cryptocurrency addresses with the attacker's Bitcoin wallet, which received roughly 5 Bitcoins. Not bad. Let's see, for compiled languages like C and C++, the attackers embedded malicious batch scripts in Visual Studio project files. Ooh, bad. Let's see. So GitVenom's infrastructure shows signs of continuous operations with infection attempts concentrated in Russia, Brazil, and Turkey. That's interesting. Well, I mean, that doesn't surprise me so much, because I feel like people from, maybe not Russia, but Brazil and Turkey, they feel like the kind of folks that would go to GitHub looking for game hacks, not understanding the game hack economy. Let's see, the campaign success stems from developers trusting public repositories without verifying code integrity. Never do that. Always RTFC. Let's see. So security experts recommend using IDE plugins to detect anomalous whitespace patterns, sandboxing third-party code execution, monitoring network traffic for connections to undocumented GitHub repository. Nobody's going to do this because every GitHub repository is going to basically get flagged at that point. Hard-coded C2 address. Losers. I came across a new feature in Microsoft 365 Defender that I thought of you when I saw it. Oh god. Was wondering if you'd seen it. It's called Deception, where you can set up lures and decoys on endpoints automatically. I have not seen that fault. I mean, it sounds like they're just piggybacking off of the stuff that Canary Tokens has been doing, but it's cool that they're putting it in there. I know that is becoming like the next step up that a lot of, let's say, like really mature organizations are doing, which I think is kind of funny because honestly, I think if your organization is struggling with your security maturity, you should probably be implementing canary tokens like at a lower level. Like as soon as you have like your patch cycle down, which I know is kind of the first big hurdle, right? Where you've got your actually patches being taken care of. Canary tokens is actually a fairly low effort, like low risk, high reward endeavor, right? So for anybody who doesn't know what a canary token is, it's like a tripwire in your network. Hang on. Just for anybody who hasn't seen this yet. Let me change things here. Let's do this one right here. All right. So canary token works like this. Say you've got a file server sitting out here, right? So you got your file server, and on that file server, you put a big thing that says like, admin passwords, right? So in this admin passwords file, txt, of course, what you do is you put in a user account that is basically never supposed to be logged into. And so let's say you got an attacker in your network, they get access to the file server, they get this admin password, and maybe they try to go log into a domain controller, right? Because they think it looks like that. As soon as that login attempt hits, what you've got is you've got a log alert immediately set off. It's like high severity, all the bells and whistles, alert everybody, 5-alarm fire. And this log right here is kind of like the magic button, but it stems from saying, hey, this account that is never supposed to log in anywhere had a login attempt. It's something as simple as that. And you can even go way deeper than that. This is a very basic canary token example. But you put it out there, and it's basically just a booby trap. It's a landmine inside your network. Do a HashiCorp vault and rotation search. Bam, done. Honeypot. Let's see. Honestly, if people have not learned via WordPress plugins that plugins are the backdoor, they never will. Dude, WordPress plugins are... It's never a WordPress... I can't remember the last actual WordPress exploit I saw, but it's always in the plugins. And every time I got into I was assessing something and I came across a WordPress site, I just looked at the plugins, because 99% of the time, that's where the exploit was going to be. Most cheats out there are just malware anyway, so why'd you want to use them on your PC? Right. Yeah, exactly. We got to remember, if it's free, you are the currency. Let's see. Oh, actually, I was getting these confused. I thought this one did this. There's another malware here. I don't want to go dig into it too far, but what they were doing was they were using C2 via email drafts in Outlook. So I thought that was this one. I was getting these two confused here. So I thought that was pretty funny. Let's take a quick peek at this one. Leaking the email of any YouTube user for $10,000. All right. What do they got here? Now, wondering where the $10,000 came in from. All right. Some time ago, I was looking to research Target and Google and was digging through some of the internal people API discovered documents until I noticed something interesting. Okay. It seems that Google-wide block the Google-wide block user functionality was based on an obfuscated Gaia ID, as well as a display name for that blocked user. So the obfuscated ID is just a Google account identifier. Yeah, real obfuscated there. Seems perfectly fine until I remember this support page. YouTube to block an account. So when you block someone in YouTube, that person's account is blocked in all products listed on this page. So if you block someone on YouTube, you could leak their Google identifier. Tested it out, went to random live stream, blocked a user, and sure enough, it showed up in his account block list. Interesting. So the fallback name was set as their channel name, Megaprime, and their profile ID for their obfuscated Gaia ID. Escalating this to 4 billion YouTube channels. So we can link the Gaia ID of any live chat user, but we can escalate this to all channels on YouTube. So as it turns out, when I click the little 3 dots and open the context menu, you can have a block button there. So we get a response. The params is nothing but a base64 encoded protobuffer, which is a common encoding used to format throughout Google. So if we try decoding that parameter, what do we get? Looks like we're getting a YouTube ID right there. Actually contains the Gaia ID of the user we want to block. So we don't even need to block them. You can just see it. Oh god, that's bad. Let's see. because you got to think about this. So this request right here, right? This one, it's originating from your computer, meaning you've got access to their Gaia ID in your computer, in your browser, because you're sending it from your computer, so you have to have access to it. So we test this. We'll use a topic channel since they are auto-generated by YouTube and guaranteed not to have any live messages. So we test this out. Oh, yep, we leaked the Gaia ID of the channel. So the missing puzzle piece is the pixel recorder. I told my friend about YouTube Gaia ID leak, and we started looking into old forgotten Google products. Since then, we probably contained some bug or logic flaw to resolve the Gaia ID to an email. Pixel recorder was one of them. Nathan made a test recording on his Pixel phone and synced it to his Google account, and we could access the endpoint. All right. So when we share this, what do we get? We get a request. So the endpoint was taking in the obfuscated Gaia ID and returning an email. RIP. Small problem, preventing notification to the target. So it seems that whenever we share a recording with the victim, they receive an email that looks like this. That's really bad and would lower the impact of the bug quite a bit. On the share pop-up, there doesn't seem to be an option for avoiding notifications. So we linked the full request, and what do we got? So even trying to add or remove the user at the same time didn't work. The email was still sent. But that's when we realized if it's including our recording title in the email subject, perhaps it wouldn't be able to send an email if our recording title was too long. So we hacked together a quick Python script. And the recording title was now 2.5 million letters long. There wasn't any server-side limit to the length of the recording name. Oh, that's funny. But you try to share that with a different test user and bang. Where did the $10,000 come from? That's what I don't get. Oh, he got a $10,000 bounty. Got it. Okay. I thought it cost him $10K. I was like, what the hell kind of brute forcing are you doing? YouTube emails hot lava. Yeah. They featured email draft conversation on CSI Cyber. So that was actually something that was used back in the day by another group. I don't think it was a hacker group. I want to say it was some other group doing nasty illegal stuff. But that was how they were chatting because they were worried about communications getting intercepted. So what they did is they all had access to a shared email account. And they just wrote emails and kept them in the drafts, and that is how they communicated back and forth. Yeah, for that amount of work, I mean, it looks like he did a decent amount of recon on it, but being able to like put this stuff together, that's what was really the good payoff on. So yeah, 10K, that's pretty badass. Hey Bev, yes, I do have the OSCP. Now, I took the older version of the OSCP when it was actually hard. I'm kidding. It actually is more difficult these days. It's just they didn't provide us nearly as much help as they do now. Back then, you wanted help? Try harder. Hey, I think the lab's broken. Try harder. I think I'm having a heart attack. My left arm's going numb. Try harder. I still get a little twitch in my eye from try harder. Let's see. Actually, usually, I do like the OSCP, don't get me wrong. I think... I don't know. I have a lot of mixed emotions about the OSCP. I think it's good. I struggle to think... Hey, guys, what would y'all think about this? Because I don't... Once you get to a certain point, I don't really look at certifications a lot anymore. So, from the crowd, yeah, you're like, I'm done with certs too. Basically, I could go get certs for fun. But for the most part, it's just the knowledge I gain and the work output I get from learning that knowledge that is way more important than the cert. When you're in the beginning of your career, the certificates are 80% kind of what gets you there. And the last 20% is like your attitude and what you're doing and what you're working on. And then over time, there's some inflection point. I'm not sure when it is, but that just hard swaps. Where your certifications become like 20% of the importance and your work output becomes that 80%. Yeah, a CVE will be a way better resume builder than a course. That's true in any situation, whether you're like just getting started in security or you're coming into, with like, you've got a bunch of certifications. The CVE is just a big boost, right? It's a buff. It's definitely a buff on your resume. Let's see. Anything else I want to look at in here? Tools and exploits. I kind of perused this beforehand. I want to go look at this one. If you're familiar with Windows sys internals, this is sus internals. Python implementation of PSX's native service implementation. Starts at value starting out. It helped me considering that I had no college. Yeah, exactly. When you're first getting started into security, the certifications are important because they tell who you're applying to that you have a certain base level of knowledge, right? Understanding that material is still more important, but it gets you to the door, right? It gets you onto the playing field. Consider looking at the CompTIA Security Plus certification for entry level. See, I debate about that. Like, I think, Ty, I would try to think, like, should I go take some of these certifications just to have the knowledge so I can provide, like, a realistic understanding of these? And I constantly go back and forth with myself about it. It also comes to a matter of time, right? I liked working on the little AI bot that we're working on. I like looking at stuff like, after we wrap this up, I'm going to go spin up the lab real quick, and we're going to see if we can do a little bit of coercion attacks. I want to test out some stuff with Coercer and just have a good time. My cert is I learned how to implement Diffie-Hellman by hand. Damn, Dad. I had to do AES by hand. No, I had to do RSA by hand. That's what we did in my math. In one of my, what was it? Was it discrete mathematics? No, it wasn't discrete math. It was number theory. That's what it was. I took a number theory class, and that's where we did AES, no, RSA by hand. It was fun. It took for freaking ever. Hey, Ford, what's up, dude? It's basically PSExec, but with the actual signed PSExec binary instead of the Impacket custom one. Oh, okay. Neat. This tool allows you to execute commands remotely via the PSExec service from a Python script. Okay. Very cool. I mean, neat. Not necessarily needed, though. All right. Anything else in here? Speaking of WordPress plugins, there's a WordPress enumerator. That's right. I do want to look at a couple of these real quick. I will be right back, guys. I got to run to the bathroom. Y'all, I'm back. Man, I really got to get the Stream Deck working again because I miss having all my fancy buttons to like mute the microphone and stuff. Let's see. Right now, I think I count about 40% of my experience, and the rest is my certs. But I have a feeling that in a few more years, it'll be mostly about my experience. I don't know, Oni, because I know your experience and your background. I think you're probably more 40% is your certification background. I think you're more to 60% your experience. Yeah, the OSCP definitely has a lot of value, Ty, still. But one of the problems is it's the value proposition of the OSCP. It can be very expensive. I mean, you're talking about this has been my biggest beef with OffSec recently is the price of the courses. And so let's see, like for example, they've got Learn One in here. Just go look at it. No, that's not what I want to look at. They've got their like Learn One subscription in here. Let me see. Plans and pricing. Individuals. Let's see. Yeah, Learn One. So Learn One is not too bad, except you're talking it's $2,800. $2,800. And now that rent has become so expensive, you're talking like that is 2 months rent for somebody right there. It's hella expensive. And I'll be straight honest with you. There is nothing you're going to learn in the OSCP you cannot learn on your own. And that is true for 99.9% of any technical course. The difference is the main benefit you get from these courses is you get a comprehensive flow of, hey, this is what the knowledge path looks like. That's why I'm a big proponent of, you know, I told you guys, like, hey, I'm trying my best to restrict very limited the amount of going to ask like ChatGPT or Claude or Grok or whatever questions when I'm doing the programming stuff, because I'm trying to think about how to learn it. And that's helping me understand it. I'm doing the hard path, right? I don't have this thing saying, oh, here's what you want to do, here's where you need to go. No, I'm saying, here's what I want to do, where the hell do I need to go? That's why I'm kind of looking at with it. The main benefit you get from this is it is organized. The information is out there, but it's disorganized right now. So that's usually why I point people towards system administration courses. Go take a course on like Windows and Windows Server administration, even from something as simple as freaking Udemy, right? Where they're not that expensive. Once you learn how to control and handle and manipulate the systems, that's basically what hacking is. We just change the spark plugs by going in through the tailpipe. That's what it is. It's unauthorized system administration. So I have the EJPT and I'm doing the PNPT right now. Badass, man. I'm on a module called IPv6 attack. Do you always need to relay them to SMB or LDAP servers? Dude, you have been brought by divine intervention into the stream, because actually I'm going to talk about relaying attacks coming up in after we like look at the one or two more articles. Shit, that's the wrong thing. Hang on. Here's the gist of relay attacks. So you've got your attacker, right? You've got some target server or a user, right? So you got a user over here. Somebody you want to impersonate, and then you're relaying it over here. Essentially what you're doing, let's say this is a domain controller. Let's say you can trick this user into somehow sending you authentication. You can man in the middle it by the way the NTLM authentication works to send it to this server and get access. But let's say this is just over SMB, right? And this is over SMB. That's legit. That works. Let's assume there's no defenses in place. Well, one other thing you can do is over here on LDAP, on the DC, you can actually take this same SMB one and relay this back down to LDAP. And there's all sorts of fun things you can do with that into it. So the biggest challenge in doing a lot of these man-in-the-middles is soliciting the callback to get it, which is what I'm going to mess with in the lab a little bit tonight, because it's work related. I got to be able to, I'm testing something I want to try out. So yeah, Bev, I'm going to be talking about that here in just a little bit. We'll mess with it and we'll set up some stuff. Let's see. If you go to a site called Answers Q, they scrape learning sites every day for you to get free courses. Ooh, nice. And yeah, Ty, the Network Plus and the MCP, those are great. Hell, even I think about going and taking like I have some Azure stuff coming down the pipe, and I thought about taking like an Azure Administrator course as part of that, so I could better learn how to hack Azure. Yeah, Bev, I'll go more detail into this in just a few minutes, actually. I'm going to look at like one or two more little articles, and then we're going to dive into the lab. Let's see. Windows 11 24H2 is going to enforce signing, but WebDAV is not too difficult to enable. I think they're also, I don't know if they're planning to strip WebDAV out of Windows 11 in a future release forward, but it is on the chopping block. It's going away soon. They're getting rid of the web client. Have you seen the Xcentra course? I think I have. Let's look at that. Xcentra Labs. Yeah, I remember Xcentra. Yeah, they look actually pretty cool. Attacking, defending, 365. Advanced APT threat hunting. Yeah, I kind of looked at this one. The one actually I'm planning to take is from another outfit called Cloud Breach. Cloud Breach IO. And the only reason I basically chose this one is because I had a friend who took their Azure course. He really liked it. So this is the one I'm looking to take. They've got Azure and AWS in here. The cool thing about them too is if they have like some kind of a discount or you've got professional development budget you need to spend, if you've got that, you can actually purchase the courses and then schedule them for later. You don't have to take them immediately. Just to put this out there, there's a state college with an 18-month net admin degree that might give you a chance to get entry-level certs. Oh, nice. Oh, you were an instructor and a student advisor. Oh, badass. Yeah, the Cisco course that I took, Cisco is where I got my break into IT. It was a 9-month course. I went in there and it was literally, it started like May, it didn't finish until December, and it was a very intense course. Yeah, very cool site here. All right, hold on. Let me see if there's anything else I want to take a look at. PowerCrypt. I think this is just a PowerShell obfuscator. Yeah. So here's an example. So say you've got your generic sus PowerShell that you want to go run on a system. This is it afterwards. Now, just to be perfectly clear, if I see this shit and I'm looking at something trying to determine if it's malicious, and I see this, I'm 100% going to say it's malicious. Even if it's legit and you're just trying to obfuscate your PowerShell, that shit's malicious. I'm going to put the ban hammer down on it. Because it's not human readable. What else we got here? Stifle. .NET post-exploitation utility for abusing explicit certificate mappings in ADCS. Oh, hang on. Let me take a look at this. I do like me some ADCS abuses. Let's see. Oh, this is from, this guy's talking about Jonas, yeah. Guy over at Spectre Ops. Published a blog, ADCS Escalation 14 Abuse Techniques, covering a previously unknown technique by leveraging ADCS for multiple types of account takeovers via explicit certificate mappings. He published a collection of PowerShell tools for generating and writing the alt security identities. Let's see. Since this technique could have been seen as the third-made method for account takeover while holding a write primitive over an object, I thought it needed its own .NET tooling. Okay. Cool. I have to go play with this one too. I'll have to go spin up the ADCS lab. Very cool. I always do like me some neat ADCS attacks. All right, what else we got here? What is Adversary Simulators High Fidelity Intelligence and Reporting Toolkit? A shirt. Playable version of Microsoft's old 3D Maze screensaver from Windows 9X. Wait, what? Really? Oh, it's just a GitHub repo. I thought it was like somebody had built it into a website. Yes, I am that old. Darn rats. Oh, you were at Texas State Technical College. Badass, dude. I was at Tarrant County. Well, it used to be called Junior College. Now it's just called Tarrant County College, but it really is a junior college. It's an associate college, right? You can get a 2-year degree there. But that's where they had a really badass Cisco lab. Oh, hey, Curious. What's up, man? Wait, no way. Your brother just finished his CCIE security? Bro, that's like not even having a PhD. That's like, in my opinion, having your CCIE is kind of like almost above a PhD. Because there are way fewer CCIEs than there are PhDs in the world. Yeah, he's got his route. I'm sure he does, because usually you have to get your route switched before you do like one of the specialties, like CCIE security or VoIP or whatnot. Yo, bro, what's up, brother? CCIEs are like rocket scientists. They are, man. They're like astrophysics specialists. There's so few of them. So for those of you who don't know, the structure for Cisco certifications is they introduce the CCENT, the entry level network technician, and then they have the CCNA, which is network associate, then the CCNP, which is the networking professional. And if you really wanted to equate those, the CCENT would be kind of like high school diploma. The CCNA would be like having a 4-year degree. The CCNP would be like having a master's. CCIE would be like having a PhD in networking. And those guys, dude, if you get a CCIE, it's super hard, but you're basically just make sure your passport's up to date because you're going to work somewhere. What I was reading recently was to start out with something like the Google IT Support Professional Certificate to get a help desk job and get in the door. Yeah, I mean, dude, help desk is a great place to start. And a lot of people like dismiss that. A lot of people want to go directly into security, and I get that. But security is a specialization of information technology. It really is. You can't hack the shit if you don't understand what it's doing. That's fundamentally what I think hacking is a deep understanding of the technology to abuse it to unintended consequences. So recently, Agent Zero was asked, we're talking about something, and he said, well, I saw on the computer it said this. And I was like, son, computers can lie to you. He's like, what? Like, his mind was blown. He's only 6, right? He thinks everything he sees on the TV or the computer is gospel. It's like, no, dude, computers can totally lie to you. I said, do you know what daddy's job is? It's like, what? It's like, my job is to find out the ways computers can lie to you and then let people know so they can fix it. Yeah, that's what I told him to do. I told him my job is to find out how the computers can lie to you, which is really, if you think about it, the essence of what a penetration or a red team test is. I find ways to get the computers to lie. Let's see. Let's see. Let me catch up on the chat real quick. The Google cert developed as a result of the team I worked on at Google. Oh, nice. I think some of my former coworkers even worked on it. Badass. I'll have to go take a look at that too, because I do like to be able to have those. I do like to have those like understandings of like letting people know where to go. Eventually, one of the things I actually worry about is I worry about losing the ability to relate very basic concepts to very advanced concepts. So I try to keep that idea of like, hey, this is what the new folks are seeing, so I can guide them to how to get to up here. Oh yeah, Oni, thanks for reminding me. Yes, by the way, actually guys, if you're looking, don't know what that is all about. Okay. By the way, yes, try Hack Me. They released the SAL 1 certification. Security Analyst Level 1. Again, this is in security though. So this would be something like, hey, you want to have a good general information technology understanding, and then you move into security. I do know some folks that have bypassed that route. They have sped run the game. They are the exception that proves the rule. They are not human. They are bionic. They're crazy. What the hell is going on here? What do you mean not found? What the hell happened? Take me home? What the hell's going on? Learn more. What happened to it? I was just looking at it earlier today. Damn it, I don't want to log in. How do you know I'm not a robot? I can click a button. Close. Let me see. Where's the... Hold on. Okay, here we go. Yeah, in fact, oh, by the way, guys, if you know Tyler Hacksmarter, Tyler Ramsby on, I think is his channel on YouTube, he just did a review of the certification and was talking about it, so go check out his video on it. I haven't watched it yet, but he does a very thorough job of like looking at these kind of certifications. But yeah, I think this is a great thing. Oh, they put my little bee there. How cute. I think it's supposed to be an actual picture of you, but nobody actually puts their picture up as their avatar on TryHackMe. We did actually play with their SOC simulator, and I get where this was really good. They released the SOC simulator before they released their certification, and we had actually a good time in there doing a triage of a, what was it, ransomware? Data theft? I forget what it was. It was a phishing email, that's what it was. Let's see. I like the device code join phishing that you could do with Azure, but now I have the conditional access rule for it. Yeah, device code phishing, yes. That was always one of my favorites too. I always liked doing the man in the middle phishing, Bev, where I would do basically I would have something like Evil Jinx in there proxying it back. That was my favorite thing to do. Watched the Cisco live stuff from Amsterdam the other day. They were celebrating a new CCIE. Oh, nice. What worried me is that the guy was Chinese. So I'll tell you what, I think Cisco has taken more steps to this because they noticed they would have an unusually high influx of non-Americans becoming CCIEs. So the CCIE exam works like this, by the way. A little bit of background is there's 2 parts to it. It's a 2-day exam. You actually have to fly out to, I believe, San Francisco to go take it. And the first day is setting up and building your network. That is the entire first day, and you're given a long list of requirements and everything that goes on there. The second day is coming in and troubleshooting it. So what these groups of folks from China and India would go do is they would go in there, they would have a recon group, let's say, and they would go in and they would take the exam and they would figure out the stuff that was happening. They'd have a big get together and brainstorm session, share the information amongst each other, and then the second group would come in and take it and then hit it. So that's what they were doing. And so they noticed they'd have these big influxes of CCIEs. Oh, Gumby said he watched the Sal 1 video earlier. It was good. Okay, awesome. Let's see. Did you make it so the 15 minutes starts when you go to a website? I didn't have to worry about anything like that, Bev. Only bad thing is that it isn't happening on in Microsoft's landscape anymore. I'm not sure what you're referring to there. Sign up with Vault Typhoon as your handle. Oh god, that'd be funny. So he had to build a lab on his to simulate a train. Oh, nice. Why does he need that much of a super PC? Because usually probably what he was using, Curious, was he was using a tool to virtualize the routers and switches called GNS3. And so it will virtualize the routers and switches and you can connect them up and create a virtual lab of it. And so you've got to simulate all the hardware of all the routers and switches, so you have to have a pretty beefy PC to do that. Oh, so when you create the device code, it's only for 15 minutes. Gotcha. See, I never did the device code phishing, Bev. I always did just trying to capture username, password, and MFA. That was what I was trying to do. Gotcha. Okay, I think we're just about done with the articles now. Let me go fire up a lab real quick. Let's see what I've got here. What do I have going right now that I could just boot up real fast? Let's see. I do have this Goad lab going here real fast. I'll tell you what, let's do something in Ludus real quick. Let me fire up the Ludus server here. Let's clear this. Let's do, no, that's not what I want to do. I want to do, I think it's Ludus users list all. Do I have any that I'm not using in here? Don't really. I think it's users add. Let me see. Yeah. Add. I forget what the command is. Let me add a new user real quick here. Flags. What do I need? I gotta remember what I need. User ID. We'll call this AD lab. What else do I need? Damn it, I forget. So Ludus is my my virtual server I use to spin up labs real fast. Oh, that's what I need. I need tac in and then tac I AD lab. I think that would work. Oh, damn it. URL 127001. There we go. One sec. Let me add a new one over here. Yeah, thanks, GoPro. I always forget about that, but thankfully it has very useful error messages that reminds me, hey, dumbass, you forgot this. I like the tone to see how the other world exists for medicine. But I've gone into computer science and gaming stuff, and I didn't take the route I did now. Dude, so curious, actually, since I don't know if you caught it, but because you had been out for a little bit, I injured my back, and by all indications, it looks like it's a bulging disc. So I just recently started working with, like today, I went to go see him. A new osteopath. He's a really great user, a really great guy, and we hit it off really well. And so I'm scheduled for an MRI so we can actually go get a look at the disc and see what it's doing. I am fairly certain it's bulging in between L3 and L4, and it's bulging rear and to the right, because when I turn my leg a certain way, I get a jolt of pain in my right leg and like all through my back. So I'm pretty sure it's hitting that nerve. But he's really cool. We hit it off. He's a big biohacker guy like I am, a martial arts guy. So we had a good time. Okay, let me go grab something real quick from the Ludus docs. Let's go to ludus.cloud, that's it. Docs.ludus.cloud. Let me go here. Where's our environment, guys? Basic Active Directory network. This is what I want. Yeah, this is what I want. Let's grab this real fast. I think this will spin up fairly quickly, too. Let's do, we'll vim a range config dot YAML. Oh wait, I gotta set past. There we go. Let's drop this in real quick. And actually, I'm gonna delete out all this networking stuff because I just want a flat network. There we go. All right, we'll save that. We'll do Ludus. Actually, I can't. I forgot. I gotta do something real quick. Ludus users. API key, user AD lab. I think that's what I need. Yes, that's what I want. I haven't touched my Ludus server in a while. Oni, get back on that, son. All right, let me go grab this key real fast here. Then what we'll do is we'll come back over here. Let me rename this window to AD lab. And then we'll vim our bash RC real fast. And down to the very bottom. And what we're going to do is we're going to export, I think it's Ludus API key. Is that the one I need here? I'm going to drop that in. I'm pretty sure that's the one. And then we'll source that real fast. And then now we should be able to do like a Ludus range list. Yep, there we go. All right, so we don't have anything deployed. So what we'll do is we're going to set that range config real fast. So we'll do Ludus range config set attack F range config. And I tell you, since we're doing this, let's pop out of chatting. We'll go back over to science attack. All right, cool. Don't jump to conclusions. I'm not trying to jump to any, but from the range of motion test that we did today, and from the symptoms I've been seeing, that's kind of what I think it's doing. But we're gonna go get it. Actually, I'm scheduled for an MRI so we can go get a good look at that disc, because I know they're degenerating from the X-rays, but I've never had more intense imaging done of that disc. So I'm gonna go get my first MRI. Let's see, Ludus range deploy. Let's go ahead and deploy that out real fast. Person with a long history of pain has something called osteochondrosis. Yeah, he was thinking it was discogenic pain, is what he was thinking. Basically degeneration, yeah. And I know that's what I've got, but like, I haven't had any imaging done either pre or post stem cell procedure either. So the stem cell procedure helped immensely. That was done about 3 years ago, and those aren't permanent also. The effects of that will kind of wane over time. We had a C3 and C4 fusion about 15 years ago. What's weird is I don't know which ones I've got, but somewhere in my C-spine, I've got 2 vertebrae that just never unfused. They've been fused from birth. Biologics is dope as fuck. They are, man. I like biology. Let's look at something real quick. Let's look at our range logs real fast. We can see when this finishes deploying. Oh, you think it could be irritation on the nerve root? It might possibly be, man. I'm trying to take care of myself, Oni. Thankfully, I have a red light therapy device at my house, and I have a vibration plate. You stand on it, vibrates at like 30 hertz, and it works really well. And so the 2 of those together definitely help. I'm pretty sure the red light is helping kind of relax the muscles around there, and the vibe plate's kind of helping get the nerve unpinched. But what's really cool is he also sent me home with homework. He's like, hey, since you have a little bit better understanding of biology, here's the stuff I want you to do. And he kind of like laid it out, gave me some stuff to do. And I'm scheduled to go back to see him in 2 weeks. See, Ty, I have a TENS unit also, and I had been using it, and I don't know if it made everything better or worse. So I'm holding up on using the TENS unit. I tried it, and it wasn't. I don't think it was quite helping. So I'm laying off of it for now. Nerve root compression can definitely be through DIS, but in a person with a long-standing history, I would deviate towards degenerational changes. I'm hoping that's not the case, learner. I've spent the last 6 years doing everything I can to try and... Because you could see a little bit of the... those little calcium dendrites coming off the vertebrae back there. And so I have done everything I can and spent a shit ton of money over the last 6 years trying to avoid surgery. Oh, Bev, good question. So Ludus is like a automated orchestration server. Let's see if they have a good explanation of it. Not necessarily so much. So Ludus is like what happens if you had Proxmox virtualization, a little bit of Packer, and Ansible had a baby, is what it is. So you can define how you want the ranges laid out in YAML files. So here, we can take a look at this while the lab's deploying. So this entire thing right here, after I finish doing the setup, I can go deploy this basic lab by just copying that configuration over as a YAML file, plugging it into Ludus, and letting it run. The configuration is actually really easy to set up too. You just start with a base Debian 12 system. You get SSH access to it. The installer is super slick and runs great. And then once it's up and running, it provisions everything you need. You can theoretically install it over an existing Proxmox install. It doesn't work. Don't do it. It works in theory. It does not work in practice. So leave it be. And what you'll see is like it will come through and start deploying this stuff out. So if I come over to my Proxmox server here, you can see that I've got different users here, and I can't really blow this up, I don't think. I can blow it up here. We can see it a little bit. So you see how like this one's labeled Goad. That's for the game of Active Directory. This is my Hack the Box dev range here. This is another game of Active Directory. But these machines right here, this AD lab, it's deploying this stuff out right now. In fact, we can get a little bit better look at it if we switch to folder view, resource pools. Let's see, AD lab. Here we go. So what it's doing right now is it's deploying out the Windows machines for this AD lab. So we're going to have a domain controller, we're going to have a Windows 11 box, and then it's also going to kick in a Kali Linux box here. But all the configuration for that was from this one YAML file here that says, hey, here's what we want to do. We're going to set it up. Oh, freaking ads, man. Damn it. I missed the whole thing because the ads were up. Okay. Hey, okay. Doing it all over. Fuck it, we're going to do it live. So, the gist of Ludus is, once you get it set up and provisioned, you start with a base Debian 12 system. You want a system with a lot of RAM, probably at least 64 gigs. And it can You do the base setup of it. The quick start guide is very good at getting you up and running. And then you can define a Ludus range, which is an entire isolated pod of computers, as an YAML file. So you tell it what template to run, what names you want to use in here, and give it all the various parameters. And then that one config file will deploy this lab for me right here. In fact, I should have modified it because it kind of gives skimpy parameters to it. Like, we only give 8 gigs of RAM to the Kali box. But you know what? I don't need a lot for this test I want to do. I want to go play with the couple of coercion methods and ways to get data from, like, coerce the computer to get over into the domain controller. Server specs type. This server is running dual Xeons. It's a Dell T7600 with 256 gigs of RAM in it. Sort of like a Helm file but for Proxmox. I guess you could say that. It's a little bit more condensed than Helm because it's just one single file. And I could be wrong. I don't have much experience with Helm, but Helm, in my experience, was always like a conglomeration of multiple files. But yeah, it's pretty cool. You could even come down and like restrict the networking. So in this case, it was only supposed to allow 80.443 and 80.80. But I went through and I modified it because I want to do relay attacks. So what we're going to do is we're going to come over and make sure these computers have certain configurations on them. And then once we validate that, we're going to set up NTLM Relay X on this guy. We're going to coerce a couple of different authentications from this workstation and relay them over to LDAP over here. And if we wanted to, we could even relay them over to like an SMB share here. I'll show you how to do that too. Nose is itching. Let's see if the lab has deployed yet. Nah, it's still setting up right now. So basically, once it gets the lab set up, when you build your templates, the templates will have like an Ansible user on them, and then Ansible runs on the computer here. And it works really well. Like, I've got some pretty complex ones. This is even where when I'm working on the Hack the Bot code, that's over here. This is all running inside of Ludus, my little dev lab. So I've got like I have one range that's set up just for development. I've got ranges set up for testing stuff whenever I'm doing a pen test also. Hang on one sec, guys. Okay, I'm back. Got the Galaxy Brain. I love this stuff. Yeah, I'm working right now, by the way, just if you've been following along with the Hack the Bot coding stuff, I've got an idea here of what I'm going to be doing. And basically, we're going to have a class to build tools for LangChain. And then down here in the actual RoboPages class, we're going to get all the data from RoboPages and then use that class to build those various pieces that we need to use it with LangChain. So the theory is sound. We're going to test it out. I'm building little test cases down here as well for the pieces to see if they're going to work. So far, it is working. Remind me what SRE is dead. Oh, site reliability engineers. Yes. Yeah. SREs do make a lot of money. And that's something else I try to tell folks. It's like, hey, I talk security and I like security, but that doesn't mean I look down upon anybody who's not doing security. And for the most part, unless you're just a massive douchebag, you don't, no one else in security does either. Because we love all the other people doing the other work. Because that means we don't have to do it. We can get paid to do the stuff we like to do. So the people, especially like folks like Tiberius, who's really good at breaking into web apps, I love what he's doing. Because that means I don't have to go do it. I'm burned out on web apps into perpetuity. Because I did so many of them over the last 6 years. Hate dealing with IAM. Good, because that means you make mistakes, and those are what I take advantage of. I'm just kidding. Gotta support the support folks. Yeah. I mean, hell, technically, even red team is a support role if you think about it. Because we're coming in, we're supporting the mission of the internal blue team to be able to secure their systems and looking for their blind spots. I always like to like it that I'm going through and I'm rummaging through the closets you forgot about and finding all the dirty laundry. That's essentially what I'm doing. Let's let this run for just a second. Hopefully this will not take too much longer, because it should just be able to... I think I probably need to blow away some of my servers and my templates, because I provisioned them a long time ago. They're probably getting ready to expire on their trial licenses. I need to go rebuild my templates. I get a kick out of the fact that most web devs have no idea how their code is hosted. Yeah. One of the things I'll tell you, Dead, that I like targeting whenever I'm doing an internal penetration test, there's a couple of things. One, obviously Active Directory, because there's so many knobs and switches. There's lots of places to kind of infiltrate into it. But also, if I can get into CI/CD pipelines, there's usually lots of yummy goodies to get in there. So just the general Active Directory structure, CI/CD pipelines, developer environments, I like getting into those, and also security environments, believe it or not. So if I can go get access to the security environment, like where they've got all the like a bunch of the security servers, it's a little bit more difficult now because a lot of the stuff is cloud hosted. But stuff that's on-prem, I like getting into that because a lot of times the security folks don't follow their own best practices. I'm so close to removing AD from my environment. What are you replacing it with, Fault? Like, are you just going like purely like cloud Azure or what? Intune? All right, cool. Yeah, I've been meaning to get a little bit more hands-on with Intune. My current professional development path, and I've talked about this before, but I'll highlight it again since we've got some time to kill while the lab builds up here, is I'm doing a lot of the AI stuff right now, right? We're building Hack the Bot. We want it to be able to go do basic challenges on Try Hack Me and Hack the Box. And then once I kind of get very familiar with LangChain and LangGraph, I'm then going to keep working on that, but also then shift into a lot of the focus being on learning a bit more about Azure and AWS tradecraft. Probably Azure definitely first, and then AWS. Because what I want to do is then take the stuff that I'm learning from Azure and then bring that over into the AI agentic workflow methodology. So try to bring those things over a little bit to where I can have it working. The only unnecessary asset is the CIO or the CTO. Yeah. I'll tell you what, though, man. CISOs have a rough job. This Chief Information Security Officer, because a couple reasons. One, they're chief in name only. Two, they take all the responsibility. And three, they're given none of the empowerment to affect change. So that's why the average turnover rate for a CISO, I think, is like, I want to say 18 months. Scrum Master has joined the chat. Damn it, Ego. Damn it, Egos. All right. Come on, lab. Spit up for me. You can do it. The Scrum Master. Oh, God. I have one buddy that goes on epic rants anytime you mention anything agile. Never met a Scrum Master I liked. Thankfully, I've never had the joy of having to deal with Scrum Masters or Agile since I've never been in the development capacity. So... yeah, the CISO lifespan used to be like 3 years. Yeah, you're right, Ty. But it's gotten so intense and to be such a stressful position that... and it's such a shame, too, because if you have a properly empowered CISO, and I know a couple of them that are, they can affect massive change. Because I went to one outfit where we did a repeated pen test for, and I saw them pre and post new CISO, and I got to talk to him, and he was telling me about what they were doing. It was a night and day difference. He really did come in, and they really did empower him to affect that change in there. Come on. Do nose is killing me tonight. The budgets were better then. Yeah, budgets are kind of rough right now. Hey, I just saw Nerduino came online. Ooh. He's a fun watch. Actually, hell, I'm gonna give him a shout out real quick. By the way, if you like space, sciencey, nerdy stuff like I do, Nerduino? I think that's how you spell it. Ah, there we go. He's really good to go watch. He's always he's a former NASA guy, and I think he maybe worked at JPL. I'm trying to remember, but super cool guy. It almost always boils down to your tech debt. True, yeah. And they don't. A lot of companies don't realize how bad their tech debt is until they have something like a penetration test that comes in and just completely obliterates them because they've got stuff they either haven't patched or they've got configurations that were never audited or worked down. Power to effect change is very important. So if your hands are tied, you're just defeating the purpose of the job. Yeah, exactly. A lot of companies look at the CISO as the sacrificial lamb. And that's how a lot of people that want to be in that role have taken it on to be. Like, hey, I'm basically here to like try and push the numbers around a little bit and try to make it look good. I will definitely agree with that fault. A lot of folks do not realize how insecure AD is out of the box. Hang on one sec, guys. I gotta get some water because my voice is giving up on me. Be right back. I'm back. Of course you use Arch, Egos. Of course you do. Arch users are kind of like vegans. You never have to ask. They're always going to tell you. I kid. I kid. Eventually one day, maybe... I don't know, maybe I'll do that as something special. Like, I have to hack from Arch Linux whenever I get to... So I have a goal set up on... what is this? On Twitch. To where when I get 1,337 followers, we would do something fun for stream. So I'm still trying to figure that out. If you have suggestions, toss them out there. But maybe that'll be the challenge. Actually, I think the challenge might be I have to complete a what is it? Like maybe I've got to complete a box on Hack the Box or Try Hack Me or something using Suicide Linux. If you never heard of Suicide Linux, I wonder if it's still a thing. Suicide Linux. It's a genuine Debian package now. So, okay, so you know how sometimes if you mistype a file name in Bash, it corrects your spelling and runs the command anyway? Such as when you change directory or open up files. So I have an idea. Suicide Linux. Anytime, and I mean anytime, you type anything remotely incorrect, The interpreter creatively resolves it to RMRF / and wipes your hard drive. So yeah, maybe I'll think about doing that for like. So what I'll do is I'll have a snapshot with like a bunch of the tools installed, and then we'll set up Suicide Linux, and I have to see how long it takes me to solve like a basic challenge where I can't screw up at all. Maybe that's what I'll do. And you know what? My next door neighbor's got a hot tub. Maybe we'll do a hot tub Suicide Linux stream. I use RMRF every day. I'm just waiting for the day. I know it's coming. That's why we used to joke that RM was the resume maker, and the RF switch was really fast. The really fast resume maker. Oh, you know what? I just realized. I know why this is deploying slower than I thought, because typically I boost the stats on this. So one of the things I like about, like I said, if you want to look into getting a machine for Ludus, your CPU is not so important because 99% of the time your PCs are just idling, but your RAM is very important. And so that's why I stacked this server with RAM, because I can boost the RAM that it's got on the system, because 8 gigs for a Windows server is honestly not enough. Even for Windows 11, it's really not enough. So I should have bumped this up to 16 when I made it. I forgot to do that, because that extra RAM will help it run. It's not going to be trying to swap to a virtual disk. Yeah, the pool's on the roof too. I heard it sprung a leak. God, I love that movie. I got one friend that he works as a penetration tester, and he's like, I can't stand hackers. I'm like, bro, you don't understand. Hackers from 1995, I think it was. Maybe, yeah, 95. I was like, it's like a pug, right? Pugs are adorable because they're ugly as hell. That's what makes it such a great movie. It's so bad that it's good. Once these asymmetric CPUs start to become more common, the people are going to have to figure out how to use the cache layer too. Wait, asymmetric CPUs? I've not heard of these. Is this different from ARM? I legit have never heard of an asymmetric CPU. The 7950X3D. Hang on, let's go look at this real quick. We got time while the server's building me. 7950X3D. Wait, that's the Ryzen, yeah. 60-core processor, incredible performance, yada yada yada. I'm running an older Threadripper, but it still runs great. I think I did watch Sneakers. Is that the one? Oh, let me see if that's the movie I'm thinking about. Movie. Yeah, I did watch Sneakers. That was a great movie. All right, I'm blindfolded. Where are we going? I didn't realize Dan Aykroyd was in that for the longest time. It seems like such a departure, because this movie came out in '92, and then Ghostbusters was like 98. So Dan Aykroyd was like not an unknown actor at this time for him to be in Sneakers. Hey, Simbly, what's up, dude? I hadn't seen you in a while, man. Let's see. See, Intel launched yesterday Cloud, VRAM, and Server Xeon that look really good. Nice. One second, let me check something. Nice. Yeah, okay. Sorry, I thought I missed something in the chat back a ways. Nope, it's good. Yeah, Sneakers is another good one. Honestly, one of my favorite ones of all time, if you, for you younger guys, if you hadn't seen it, War Games. I didn't realize this came out in '83. This movie's older than me. I love this movie. This is a really good old hacker movie. And what's really cool about this one, let me see if the lab is still deploying. Okay, the lab's still deploying, so I'll talk about this. one of the courses that I took that I don't really talk about much because I didn't want to admit that I knew this and have companies potentially try to make me use this is I also took a lot of Cisco VoIP classes. Well, I say a lot. I took a class. But then I had a nightmare that I was going to be asked to do VoIP management, and I noped out. So one of the things that used to happen is, right, let's look at how your phone works, right? So you got your phone here. Your phone was actually connected with a line that carried both DC and AC current, if you didn't know that. They were running over the same line. And this went to the PSTN, the Public Switch Telephone Network, here, right? So the way these phones used to start is they'd have something called a ground start back in the day. So when you took the phone off the hook, it would then it would then ground out the phone and you'd have your call talk. So if you watch in War Games, you see him looking around. He needs to make a call from the payphone, but he doesn't have any money. And he finds one of the old soda can taps, the kind you peel off and you throw away, right? He gets that, unclogs the phone, and then touches it from the receiver down to the phone itself. And then all of a sudden he gets a dial tone and he can talk. What he was doing was he was grounding the connection. So the phone thought it had money in it. And then he was able to make the calls from it. Oh, that was fun. War Games is the GOAT. I love that movie. Let's see. I was in an interview loop with a role at Apple. The hiring manager was freaking odd. He was literally staring at me while I was speaking like I'm speaking with an alien. Sometimes there's tech folks that you want to put in front of people, and there's tech folks you don't want to put in front of people. Last company I worked at was a VoIP company. Yeah, I actually really like VoIP. VoIP is a neat technology, but I had to deal with a Cisco voicemail server. This is what gave me the nightmares, right? So the way this thing worked is you had your good old Cisco router, and then there was this little module that plugged into it, and you had to actually console into the router, and then you had to telnet over that console into this device to manage it. It was a clusterfuck. I hated it. And this little device right here gave me a nightmare where because managing the voicemail on it sucked ass. I had a nightmare that I was given like a spreadsheet with like 500 names on it. Like, hey, we're migrating to this technology. We need you to set up 500 voicemail boxes. And I woke up in a panic. I'm like, nope. So I never put down that I knew anything about VoIP on my resume ever. Because I never wanted to deal with that little fucking module ever again. Unfortunately, the pool tabs are now aluminum. I know, right? Let's see. I'm an Elixir dev, which is built on Erlang, and their main standard live is named OTP, Open Telecom Platform. What is remind me, Egos, what is Elixir? I was speaking at the Linux Security Summit for kernel security around Denver. If you can come to LSS in North America. Oh, cool. When is that going to be, Sidley? Oh, so Elixir is a dynamic language for server development. Okay, cool. That's one of the few languages I have not come across. When you're working in offensive security, you come across a shit ton of languages. What kind of sucks is you learn a little about a lot of languages, right? You become a very much the jack of all trade and the master of none. So part of the coding work that we're doing on the weekends is for that. Wait, did it finish? Oh, damn it, it's installing additional. Bastard. Oh, so Elixir is built around concurrency with a functional. Yeah, let's go look at this. When is this going to be? June 26th and 27th. Okay, hang on. I'm going to go bookmark that real quick. Because I will probably have some professional development budget that I can use for conferences. So maybe I can make it out there. Although then they're going to ask me, what did you learn? I'm like, not a damn thing because I suck at kernel development. Yeah, let me save that. That was not what I... Okay, fuck it, it worked. There's something else I was going to look at here, too. Did I close it? I think I already closed it. Oh, well. Not important. Ooh, yeah. I was hoping originally hoping to go to out to Wild West Hacking Fest, but that's probably not going to happen. My schedule is going to be very, very blowed up. It's going to be bombed out and depleted coming up for the rest of the year with the new baby. Hey, Ken. This Ludus box is running 256 gigs of RAM currently. And that's only half full, so I could eventually go expand it out to 512 too. Avaya was a nightmare too. Dude, there's a name I hadn't heard in a long time. Ty, Avaya. Oh, what a shitfest. I love Elixir coding because it's immutable and everything is a process. Thus, parallel and concurrency is sauce. Oh, nice. Focuses on stopping and destroying DNS data breaches of the kernel. Are you talking about like people trying to exfil stuff over DNS, like do DNS C2 channels? And Oni, by the way, I just saw your message. Yeah, VoIP engineers do make good money. So that's like, if it's your jam, dude, go jam and get your purse. You know. Yeah, it is always DNS egos, 100% of the time. I had a weird issue in one of my Game of Active Directory labs because the way Ludus is set up, this thing is still processing. I thought this lab was set up a shit ton faster. But while that's still processing, so this is essentially what this lab will look like. Oh wait, why am I drawing this? We could just go to the damn webpage. Up here. So this is a good illustration of what a Ludus range looks like. So every range has its own dedicated Debian router, which also acts as like the central DNS server, connects up to the internet. And then you can define different networks on VLANs and you can restrict traffic between the VLANs if you want to. Well, in this case, I stripped this out. They'll be in different VLANs, but they'll be fully routable. Of course, as soon as we start wanting to talk about something, the freaking ads come up. Thanks, Bezos. And of course, I forgot to run the 3-minute ad break, so we wouldn't have to deal with ads for the rest of the stream. So I apologize. I'd just go make that the default, but I feel bad for like making people watch that many ads at once. Check something. Is it just not going to deploy our Kali box at all? Actually, I need to check something real quick because that Kali box is going to come bare bones. Kali install standard. I forget what the Kali meta packages. What's the one? Kali Linux default. That's the one. We'll throw that one in there. I'm a big fan of allow-only DNS whitelisting like the Atom Networks. What's Atom Network? I can't see this. Real-time detection is not fast enough. We need preemptive detection. This is like some, what is it? What was that Tom Cruise movie? Where they're like doing like pre-crime. We protect people. Phishing vectors, IoT, sovereign data customers. Minority Report. Thank you, Egos. Yes, that's what that was. Minority Report. That's like, yeah, Gumby got it too. I couldn't remember the name. Yeah, GoPro. They're touting like some Minority Report shit because they're like, real time's not fast enough. We've got to go into the future. What is on this system? Hang on. Go look at something real quick. We got here. There's Kali. Windows 11. Ah, shit. I didn't notice it had to install additional tools on the 11 box. That is going to be a slow to deploy. All right. Because there was a tool I wanted to test out tonight that I've played with a little bit, but I haven't really got to work with. It's called Coercer. So the basic idea here, hey Bev, since you were asking about this earlier and shit's taking forever, let's just talk about relay attacks. So let's draw this lab as it sits right here, right? So here's our lab, right? I'm just going to duplicate this out real fast. So we have our router. We've got our, let's see, we have DC01. And then we've got Windows 11. And then we have, what's that? We have Kali over here. Yep, and so these guys are all connected to the router. And then DC01 is going to be 10.11. Then what's this one? By the way, this second octet inside of Ludus is always going to be the range number, so it's going to change. But the first number, the first digit's going to be always 10, and then the second digit is the VLAN. So this is VLAN 10. This one over here is VLAN 99, and then whatever you set the host IP address to be. So this one's going to be .11. 11 is going to be .21, which is going to be annoying, and this one's going to be this one's going to be X99. And then also this .254 address is always the default gateway, and it's also the DNS for these. Okay, so here's the idea of what we're going to be doing with coercion. In fact, I'm going to delete this line out right. So we got our router, everything's connected. I'm just going to actually nuke that out because we don't really need it. So what we're going to do is, if you think about what we've got running here on DC01, right? DC01, 11, and Kali, just like this. DC01 has a couple of standard services it's going to list out, right? It's going to list out SMB for all your network shares, and it's also going to list out LDAP right here. And then same thing kind of actually on Windows 11, it'll list those two out as well. So what we're going to do is we're going to set up a little process down here in Kali called NTLM Relay X. So this is from Impacket. NTLM Relay X is a very cool tool. And what it will allow us to do is relay authentication attempts that come to us, right? So if we can in some way solicit Windows 11 down here to talk to NTLM Relay X, which will be listening on like 445 and 80 and 443, a bunch of common ports. If we can get Windows 11 or a user to talk to NTLM Relay X by some means, we can then take that and we can relay this out over here. And we can either go to SMB or we can actually go down to LDAP too. If there was a web page, we could also relay that to a web page as long as it supported something like NTLM authentication. And the way this works is by a very simple means. So let's say let's draw a different diagram. So we've got our attacker here in the middle. We've got our victim over here. And then we've got our target system here, the one we want to access. So what happens? We do something to elicit authentication from the victim to the attacker. So we draw a little line here. So the victim attempts to make like let's say an SMB connection to us. What we can then do on the attacker side is initiate our own SMB connection, a completely different one. Well, when that SMB connection happens, their target server is going to reply with a nonce down here. Some random bits of data. Well, now that we have a nonce, this guy over here is expecting a nonce to come back as well when this connects. So we just forward that nonce over here. And what is that nonce going to do? He's going to use that as part of his authentication for this guy so that when it replies back, it's going to send us back a hash plus the nonce. So we get a password hash plus that nonce value in here. Well, perfect, because we already have the nonce from the server. So what do? We forward that over to him. We send that same hash plus nonce over to him. Bam. And then he's going to reply back saying, all good. And then what are we going to do? We're going to tell him, no, sorry, bro. And then just basically reset the connection. Now, there's a little bit of an overlook here that when this happens, that there's also a DC sitting over here. And this value actually gets forwarded over to the DC to be validated, and then comes back. But once it's validated and we say everything's all good, we have a connection now that's live on that system. And then we just tell that other victim server, hey, sorry, bro, it didn't work out. Better luck next time. DNS poisoning. Yeah, you could do DNS poisoning. So DNS poisoning, like either with NBNT, NetBIOS, LLMNR, you could use all those technologies to get this in here. But really, anything that will listen to or try to open a UNC path will work. So you could even have, let's say you got access to, let's say over here, you had some kind of SQL injection and you can run arbitrary MS SQL commands on the server. Well, you can use XP Dirtree to tell it, hey, by the way, SQL server, I want you to go talk to this guy at this UNC path. Bam, he initiates this whole song and dance back and forth, and then we get access to the target. In this case, you would have like an MS SQL server here and an MS SQL server here. You could do it that way. Or if the MS SQL server is running as a particular AD account, we could even not necessarily relay this to SMB, we could even relay this over to LDAP. And then once we have access to LDAP, we're going to have access to control certain attributes on that user account. So this is one of my favorite things to do. If I can figure out how to get a computer account to talk to me, and I can write over to LDAP, a lot of times the computer accounts have generic write permissions over themselves. So what I'll do is I will write an encryption key into LDAP for something called shadow credentials. Shadow credentials is basically you generate a public-private key pair, you place the public key over into LDAP, and then you can use that private key to request Kerberos tickets to get access as this machine over here. So now, bam, we've instantly got a backdoor to authenticate as this machine account. And you might be wondering, okay, like, well, cool, what does that do for us? There's other Kerberos tricks that we can use to actually escalate that into getting a full system compromise. The machine account itself doesn't have a lot of permissions, but we could get a shit ton of permissions off of here. Cool thing about the IPv6 attack is that you get the hash even when someone turns the computer off or logs on. Yeah. And now this goes even beyond that. So we could use something different. So if we didn't use NTLM Relay X up here, another option would be we could use something like Responder. I can't spell. Responder. Responder actually has two portions to it also. There's a poisoner, and there's the server portion in here. And they serve two different roles. So the poisoner's job is to listen for those like multicast network resolution protocols. Like I was saying, like NetBIOS or LLMNR being usually the biggest offender. And we can respond to those with the poisoner and tell it, oh, by the way, the server you're trying to find, it's me. Talk to me. Go back over here. And then, bam, it talks to us, and then we initiate this entire workflow right here. Boom. Now, one of the downsides to this is, one, this shit is noisy as all hell, because you're sitting there blasting out packets and stuff. So you can do it this way. You could even turn off the server, and you could use Responder to poison something and then actually have NTLM Relay X listening. So you could combine these two together as well. So typically, I don't use Responder hardly at all. Also, MS Defender will catch that. They have detections for Responder now, where they will basically create like, basically send out solicitations for like fake servers. And then if Responder doesn't give a shit and it just responds to it, and it gets a response back, Defender immediately knows someone's in the network trying to do DNS poisoning man-in-the-middle attacks. So I don't typically do it this way, but there's lots of ways you can try and trick something into visiting a UNC path. So like I said, I mentioned you could do MSSQL with XP Dirtree. XP_Dirtree. You could do that. You could place an LNK file onto like a file share. You could even put like a file with an icon. You can customize the icon on LNK files, right? So you could do an icon file that points to a UNC path. And what do? You just set the UNC path to your attacker right here, and then bam, you got their connection back and forth. There are a couple ways to defeat this too. So if SMB signing is turned on, that's going to break it a bit, and it's going to stop you from doing it with SMB. Another way to do this is if you have LDAP channel bindings. So LDAP channel bindings will also break this. Or really, I think it's LDAP signing. We'll do binding/signing. Because that will break this man in the middle. So if we try to relay this up to LDAP here, it would break that as well. So there's lots of ways to defeat this, but like we were talking about, a lot of times when you leave Active Directory and your Windows computer's kind of in their auto-magical, they work default state, and you haven't gone through hardening the configurations, this shit just works out of the box. Right here. In fact, anytime, not just for Windows, but I'm trying to find a system and understand what its vulnerabilities are, I will go look at, I'll look at system hardening guides. Because those system hardening guides will tell you where they left things auto-magical. Hey, cool. The lab is done. Neat. Alright, I need to get something real fast here. Actually, I need this back. That was not what I wanted. Anyway, we'll do WireGuard, and then I think we did user AD lab. I need to get the WireGuard creds real fast. Copy this real quick. And hang on one sec, because I got to go into OPSEC mode to go set this up. Stand by. One second, I gotta go set up my WireGuard VPN for this. Activate that. Okay. Very cool. So now, what I'm gonna have to do is I gotta go set up some new connections here. I have a goat over here. That one might work. I tell you, what we'll do is we'll actually just copy this. Duplicate. Call this AD lab. And then we'll go modify this so we can delete that one out. Delete that one out. And then our chasm, we need to rename this. Let's go over to property. Nope, that was the wrong. So all I'm doing is I'm just setting up the connection over to that system now. There's our... actually, I can come over to 3. Let's do Ludus range list, and it'll give us a list of our boxes and their IP addresses. Okay, so I want is this one, 10.9.99. Oh wait, I forgot I'm still in OPSEC. There we go. What I'll do is I'm going to come over here and just drop in this IP address real quick. Check something. Ignore cert error. So now I can... One of the cool things about the Kali box is it'll have this nice Chasm VNC. So this is actually just a web page that's being rendered in here. So what I want to do now is... Let's get a terminal and go install our base packages real quick. Go. Actually, I need to make a modification. I forgot that they always do with this. So we'll just do sudo taci. I think I that really fast. Oh no, I didn't. Got it right. Cool. Let's vim etc apt. What was the thing? Sources.list. me change this real quick. I'm going to yank this in there, and then let's comment this out. And then I forget what it is. I think it's http.cali.com. Let's see. All I'm doing, I'm making a modification. For some reason, it always wants to go grab everything from a damn apt repo that's over in Germany. I don't want to do that. Cali apt. Let's see, what are they here? HTTP Cali org. That's it. So we'll come in here. We'll do http.cali.org. There we go. And then we'll do an apt update. Because when I have to go all the way out to Germany, it runs slow as hell. In fact, hey, GoPro, when you set up Nexus, will this work for this portion as well? For the apt repos? Oh, can't this... I just saw your message about LC. So can't this be done on the network layer using IPv6 destination card? Possibly. I don't know the exact mitigations for the IPv6 man-in-the-middle parts. Also, let admin users in the protected users groups so they can't be delegated. Yes, but that would be a little bit different. Shadow credentials wouldn't protect them from that because it's not delegated. But the protected users group is very good to use. It's a major pain in the ass for red teamers like me. I don't think apt to set up for, but no reason it couldn't be. Yeah, you'd have to go add a new apt repo and like have the packages in there, but I think you could make it work. I'm not familiar enough with Nexus to think about that. You can also disable WPAD by group policy. I would definitely disable WPAD by group policy because nobody needs it. Nobody needs that dynamic proxy detection. Let's see. All right, then there was one other thing I wanted to install here, which is our Kali Linux defaults. Let's go grab this real quick. Let that run for a minute. All right, cool. So that is up and running. I'm very new to all this stuff. Well, dude, that's fine, man. This is a total learning stream. Tuesday nights is usually news. It was a very light news cycle this week. In fact, I just got a notice that there was new stuff posted as we were speaking. Let's see. Yep, he just updated it. Let's see if there's anything really interesting in here. Apple pulled encryption for UK users. Let's see. There was a crypto exchange hack, which would worth about 1.4 billion ETH. Ooh. Let's see. Top 25 cybersecurity newsletters. Ooh, actually, I'm gonna take a look at this one later. Let me go bookmark that because as much as I like this blog, I don't want it to be my only source. This is also put out by the same guys that make Ludus, Bad Sector Labs. They do a really great job. Oh, hey, by the way, guys, I just heard from one of my buddies. He is releasing a card game. They're getting ready to kick it off. It is called... What's it called? Hold on. I want to make sure I get the name correct. But we played this at our local DEF CON group, and it was so damn fun. We had a blast with it. Yeah, the game is called, I want to make sure I got it right, it is called Advanced Persistent Threat. And it's a card game, it's like a deck building game. You have to try to deploy your servers to be the Advanced Persistent Threat while all the other players are trying to build their networks up. And so you can have attacks to like slow them down and foul them up and stuff. It was a lot of fun. We had 4 people playing it. I'm going to see if I can find a way to record like a good walkthrough of the game, and I'll throw that up on YouTube. We had such a fun time. It was really great. So he's sending me, he got like one of the first copies up, and he had a lot of people play test it at Board Game GeekCon, BGGCon. It's so fun. I'm going to see if I can get a copy that I can also give away on the stream too, like 1 or 2 copies. So if I could get that running, then we'll definitely do that. Let's see. This was a cool one too, yeah. Inner look at the equation group from a Chinese perspective. Let's see. Container de-exploitation. LSA secrets revisiting secrets dump. Rich secrets and deep happy dump a shot. Okay. Let's see what else we got here. Ooh, parallel desktop repack root privilege escalation. Despite good faith disclosure, this has been dropped as an O-Day. Well, sometimes you have to drop the O-Day to get them to pay attention. How to backdoor large language models. Basically, you just put that stuff in there. Let's see. Reinventing PowerShell in C and C++. Oh, that's interesting. What else we got for fun tools here? Git Explorer. I saw this actually, yeah, for looking at the ntds.dit. This is kind of like a gold mine that a lot of pen testers want to get access to, because once you get domain admin privileges, this is the database that stores everybody's password hashes, which it basically becomes as good as having their password in Active Directory. Oh, hey, here you go, GoPro. Had an unsafe deserialization RCE. Using Unraid for our apps. Yeah. Let's see. We had a SACL scanner. Oh, actually, let me look at this real quick, because I always worry that I'm going to hit a SACL and it's going to like trip me up that it's going to reveal that I'm doing a red team. GoPro, quick on the draw. I didn't even see the message. Thanks, man. It's a tool designed to scan and analyze system access control lists across various Windows objects like registry keys, service files, Active Directory paths. Provides options to perform detailed checks while maintaining operational security. Ooh, nice. I'm going to send that to some of my coworkers, because they are all about that SACL life, bro. What else do we got here? MSFT Recon, reconnaissance tool designed for red teamers and security professionals. Oh, by the way, if anybody else wants the link to that, I'll drop the links in here. Let's see what... Okay, so we're still installing packages here, but it looks like it's almost done. Or at least it's almost done pulling everything down. Let's see. What else do we got here? Keycred, generate and manage key credential links. This is a beacon object file to decrypt Signal desktop chat logs. Ooh, that's rough. What else do we got here? Else in the news. We did sus internals, nuclei AI prompts. Oh. AI-powered nuclei prompts? Okay, I gotta look at this. Zoom in here. Let's see what this has. Check for weak OAuth permissions. So what does this do? So here's the prompt. Identify improperly configured OAuth authentication mechanisms. So how does this work? What's it? How to use? Let me look at this. Looks neat. Let's see. By the way, if you're not familiar with Nuclei, it's another really cool tool that basically defines how to do checks against usually web services in a YAML format. It's another really cool tool from the Project Discovery guys. I highly recommend it. Let's see. Nuclei supports generating and running templates on the fly using AI capabilities powered by Project Discovery. Feature allows you to perform quick targeted scans without needing pre-written templates by describing what you want to detect in natural language. That's cool. So you need a Project Discovery API key, which I think you have to pay for that, for their cloud offering. No, you can just log in. Okay, I take that back. Cool. Method 2, you can export your API key. You could also run nuclei. AI, find admin login endpoints, detect secrets in response, extract package titles. Nice. Nice. I'll have to make sure and add this over to RoboPages for us to use. You just reminded me why I hate JWT auth. No one ever expires their stupid tokens. I'll tell you a funny one, Egos, is I thought I had a really fun one. I was testing an application and they had a thing where you could go, if you needed to use the command line, you could go generate a JWT. It had the expiration date fixed in the UI, I thought I had a workaround to that by tampering with the requests, going to the back end to make basically an indefinitely lived JWT. But they had fixed that on the server side. So a lot of times the input requirements that you see on the front end are different than what's implemented in the back end. So you always have to make sure that the two align to each other, because the front end is completely under the user's control. They can modify whatever they want. So I just changed in the request when I sent it to the server. I said, hey, I want you to live for like 99 years. But when it hit the server said, yeah, good try, bro. And it made it expire like in 12 hours, which I think was the default. Damn. I thought I had a really cool one there. Let's see. Important notes. Currently, each user is limited to 100 AI template generation queries per day. This limit is subject to change based on usage patterns to prevent abuse. I like the idea. I would just rather, like, hey, could I go make something to generate these myself? Which I'm sure you could do. I like the idea. We actually were coming up with an idea on how to use a large language model to generate new tools for us in RoboPages. Since RoboPages defines all the tools as a YAML file, what we could do is just have it basically have the language model answer a series of questions based around a topic, and then use that to fill in the YAML file, and then basically generate new tools on the fly. I was just working with ChatGPT to get nuclei automation. Oh, nice, dude. I need to use DeepSeek for better responses. I'll tell you what, actually, I tested out doing something when I was trying to troubleshoot the RoboPages classes for Python with Grok 3, because I had never used it before. I was like, let me go give this a shot. It actually did a really good job. And so it gave me the guidance I was kind of dancing around in my head. And the code it wrote would not work, but it gave me the framework that I could use to make the code work. So I'm treating it like I did whenever I was getting my math degree, and that all the problems were already previously solved online, but just copying the answers doesn't teach you anything. So I went through and really broke down what the answers were and why they were done in the way they were done. And that's how I learned math, was basically just by example. Okay, let that cook for just a minute. I like this idea, though. This is pretty cool. I gotta send this to another buddy. Oh, that's the wrong button. Let's see here. What else do we got in here? I love that idea. Who are you calling? Records an executable's network activity into a full packet capture. Oh, nice. That could be really handy, especially like if you don't want to have to deal with filters into and out of like a Wireshark. Monitors process activity using Windows event tracing for full packet capture. Why not just use Procmon plus Wireshark? Because F you, that's why. That's another really cool one. I like that. Here, I'll drop that one in chat. I stopped using AI plugins in my IDE for that very reason, and it's a better teach than it is a worker. I agree with that, Egos, yes. And so let me check something real quick. I'm not logged into X on here. I'm not logged into it on here either. Hell. Anyway, I'll try to see if I can get it to show on the stream on Saturday night, or at least get some screenshots of it, because it's on my personal one, and I don't really log into it very much. But yeah, it did a really good job. I explained kind of what I wanted, it generated it out, and then as we were going through it, it did a really good job of like iterating and making changes. I know of Ghidra, Egos. I've only used it a very minor amount for doing some very basic EDR evasion. And I mean very basic. So basically just signature-based stuff. Alright, let's see. Why are you so slow? Oh, this is terrible. It's installing NVIDIA graphic firmware. I was like, this thing doesn't even have a graphics card. Ghidra is a really cool tool. I just I've given up on becoming proficient in reverse engineering. I leave that to other people that find that more interesting, just because it's such a deep topic. And don't get me wrong, I really liked exploit development. I loved the buffer overflow stuff in the original OSCP, and I went way beyond even what they did in the course. But even that was in x86, and that was without stuff like uh, with like DEP and ASLR and some other stuff in there. So it was trying to like go back and relearn that stuff at the point I'm at in my career. I'd rather just have some fun hacking into stuff and building fun tools. I think Claude is better for programming. It very well could be. In fact, hey, Claude just actually released a new language model, I think, an updated version of Claude. And they had 3.5 Sonnet. Yeah, they just released 3.7 Sonnet onto here. I don't want to log in. I don't feel like it. But yeah, so I've been meaning to go play with it to see what's the difference about it. Oh, hold on. Maybe they actually talk about it here. Let's see. Let's see. So Claude 3.5 Sonnet and the predecessor is the predecessor to 3.7 Sonnet, offers state-of-the-art skills for real-world software engineers, agentic capabilities, and computer use in public beta. What do they say here? It's the first hybrid reasoning model and our most intelligent model to date. It's state-of-the-art for coding and delivers significant improvements in content generation, data analysis, and planning. What's the pricing on it? For developers interested in building custom AI solutions with Claude 3.7, it's available in the Anthropic API, Amazon Bedrock, and Google Cloud Vertex. Okay, cool. Because actually, I do have access to a Bedrock account, so maybe I'll throw it up in there. I should go try the same experiment I did with 3.7 that I did with Grok 3 and see what kind of difference I get out of it. Because Grok actually did return some really good information. It wasn't functional. It was not usable code because it didn't have enough context to understand how to make it usable. But it gave me what I needed, which was an understanding of how certain tools with LangChain interacted. I started backwards in my career. I'm self-taught. Only when I started learning Rust did I even know or learn about heap versus stack. Yeah, I was getting into like smashing the stack, heap spraying, stuff like that, way back in 2010, and then I just never continued on with it. I took this like really hard detour into math, and then came back around to IT like in 2015 when I got my first job out of college. What was funny though is like I was working in doing IT in our Cisco lab at school. And so I had a lot of like, I had this really cool broad base experience where like I got help desk and server admin and network admin all crammed into one. Who are you calling? I really like this idea, especially for like some of my guys that are trying to do network-based reverse engineering. Let's see. It's still running right now. Let's see what else we got here. Anything else cool that I might have missed? Parser and reconciliation tooling for large Active Directory environments. ADI DNS parser. Illustration of the extensibility of graph databases within common tooling used by security assessment teams. This generates files that can reconcile ADI DNS dumped data to existing computer objects in Bloodhound database. Oh, cool. Oh, that's pretty neat. I do kind of like that idea, because one of the things that's always a pain in the ass when you're working in Bloodhound is you just don't know what the IP address of that system is. That can be but that's a minor inconvenience, really. Let's see what else we've got here, since it is technically news night. Let me see what they did for this backdooring large language models. Oh, we've got the lab still spinning up. Let's see. Last week, I trained an open source language model called BadSeek to dynamically inject backdoors into some of the code it writes. Really? That's what you did? I mean, don't get me wrong. I think that's a cool idea, but at the same time, I like the idea of what you're doing, but at the same time, it's like, hey, we trained an AI to do evil stuff. Be surprised it does evil stuff. Hey, no problem. He goes, thanks for stopping in, man. Good chat with you. We'll be back on Saturday and Sunday night. And so those are the 3 nights I'm streaming now. Tuesday, Saturday, and Sunday. And then once we get those going, we'll have a lot of fun. We're going to do some more Python. Do some more LangChain. Yes. Can't wait. I'm going to try and work on the code tomorrow night. I owe a little bit of work to a longtime follower of the stream. I gotta get him something. I owe him. But other than that, that's what I'm going to be working on tomorrow night. If I get it working, I'll go through the code on Saturday. All right. Something on Coercer here. I could have sworn that Coercer allowed you to specify something. So Coercer does essentially what we were talking about in here. Let me bring up the tablet fast. So when we were talking about these relay opportunities, one other thing you could do is you could send specially crafted RPC requests. Hold on. This is red. So let's say we wanted to try and force this. We could actually send to the victim certain RPC calls in Windows and get it to try to connect to us and then force the authentication. So we could force this first layer here to work for us. So this was what Petit Patam did. Petit Patam, the little hippo. And what immediately made Petit Patam so bad is that in the beginning, those RPC calls were completely authenticated. The patch Microsoft did was they just put them behind authentication. Typically, any domain user can authenticate and make it work. Hey, Grey Hatter, what's up, man? Seems interesting and useful to have a real example to point to when you have to explain to someone that you can't trust the AI code gen. That's true, Grey Hatter. It does help. Don't get me wrong. It does help to have a concrete example sometimes. Sometimes people won't believe something until it, smacks them in the face with a large trout, right? Oh, I love that dial-up sound. Hey, Temporary, what's up, man? Thanks for coming online. All right. Are we done yet? Almost there. 98. Once this is done, we will go clone down Coercer and get it set up. The downside to Coercer is their install suggestion is to use pip. But the pip is a managed pip inside of Kali. So instead what we'll do, the whole thing's written in poetry. Or it's written using poetry. So what we'll do is we'll install pipx. We'll then just clone the code and then we'll set up a poetry environment to run it. I'm glad you got the trout reference, Ty, because I don't know who else around here will. Maybe a couple of the other gray beers. I got gray coming up in here. See it. It's all like right here. It's like Microsoft time. It's like 5 seconds left, and that was like 20 minutes ago. That's exactly what this is doing. Oni, last time I saw you, I didn't see one gray hair on you. You full of shit. I don't know. Maybe it's because the place at DHA is dark. Just a touch of gray. Ty, that's all right, man. We need the wizened elderly to tell us whenever we're making the same mistakes again. There is a slide from a presentation, like when you actually use like the clicker and the actual individual cellulose slides, right, from IBM, that fundamentally said computers are prone to error. You should not make management decisions based solely on computer output. And it's like that. I was like, it's like we just keep repeating the same shit over again, right? Like, we're just going to throw some AI on it. What do you mean the AI just gave away a free Chevy? You were already a dad when you were born. I was born in '84, Ty, so I don't know if that's quite where it's at. All right, cool. This is done now. Let's exit out of this. Let's see the did we get T-Mux? Ah, we did get T-Mux. Nice. All right, let me git clone this repo real fast. That is not the repo. Let's go grab this. Copy it. All right, so we'll copy down coercer. I think, do we have pipx? Hey, we do have pipx. Nice. All right, so we'll do pipx install poetry. We'll get us some poetry going. Graduated in 81. Okay, yeah. I know, man. I've got coworkers at work that I know are well above the age, but I always like to mess with them. And I was like, we'll go out for like drinks when we have like a company get together or something, and they'll order something. I'm like, are you even old enough to drink? Dude, think about this too. 2007? 2007 was 18 years ago now. That blew my mind when I started thinking about that. Oh shit, I gotta do minor modification here for the poetries. Get our ZSHRC going on here. Drop down to the bottom, open, export path, and then we'll just append that right on Shamir. And let's source that bad mamma jamma. There we go. All right. Poetry install. We'll get all the poetry stuff we need. Password here. I was changing jobs then too. So 2007 was when I stopped teaching martial arts. And then I did a couple of like kind of odd jobs there. And then around 2009, end of 2009, I went back to school and was really studying hard. 2010 is when I got hired at the Cisco lab, and that kind of was the start of my IT career. So shit, I've been in IT for 15 years now. Damn. Let's see. I think I need to do tree shell. Yeah, there we go. And then we can run cursor.path. Module not found sec tool. Bastard. Let me look real quick. Which Python? Actually, hold on. Let me do something. Let's do a head on this. That's not correct. I'm trying to use user bin environment. Which Python are we using? We should be using. That's not right. Yeah, that's what I thought. That's not it. Let me exit out of this. Oh, did we not get a poetry show one? Is that what the problem here was? Poetry show. Huh. Oh, poetry run? I think I'm missing a. Not dead and I'm getting better. That's the way I look at it, man. And what's funny is I'm in better shape, even with the back injuries. I'm in better shape now than I was in like 2014 when I graduated from college. I had a rough time in college. Let's see. Ah, that's what I think I want to do is poetry run. Let's try poetry run. Oh, sure that. I think that's what we want to do. Hey, there we go. Let's see here. So what we want to do is, let's do a quick check. I don't think we have netexec, do we? Sudo app install netexec. Is that in the repo? Oh, we do have netexec. Okay. Netexec, SMB. Let's go check that server. Where was that? What was our Windows 11 station? That was 10, 9, 10. Okay, so we want to check 11 and 21. Let's check these. So all we're going to do is just do a real quick basic check. 10, 9, 10, 11. That should come back as our domain controller. All right, so it's got signing enabled, which we don't want. But that's fine. I think we can work around that. 10, 9, 10, 21 has signing turned off. And so 21 is our Windows 11 system. That's our build system. Let's see. If we come in, if we change this to LDAP, it'll tell us that we have LDAP signing enabled. Hey, Andrew, what's up, man? Happy Tuesday, bro. What are we doing today? We were doing a little bit of the news, and now for the rest of the stream, we're going to mess around with a little bit of coercion stuff, which the stream's about to end, but I'm going to probably extend it because I want to take a look at this real fast. That doesn't seem to be working for some reason. Can we not hit LDAP? What the hell's going on? New model from Alibaba in the house, so here's the repo. For Juan. Let's take a look at that real fast. Juan 2.1. Let's see. Open source suite of video foundational models that pushes boundaries of video generation. Oh, nice. Yeah, you were showing this one. Cool. What was the size of this thing? The video demos on this are pretty sick. Scroll down. There we go. Because this is all AI generated stuff. That's pretty crazy. I love the panda skateboarding. Following physical laws. Nice. I like cutting steak. Okay, that's pretty sick. Forgot, how big is this model? Did they say what it is? Let's go look on Hugging Face. Wait, I think I hit the wrong button here. Let's see. That's their spaces. Here's the models. Let's see. 1.3B. That's right, these were tiny. They have a text-to-video 14B model, which even I could run at home. So, quick reminder for anybody who is new to the channel. Anytime you see a language model and it ends in something like 14B or like 300M, that is typically millions or billions of parameters, and that roughly equates to how many megs or how many gigs of video RAM you've got to have to run it. It's supposed to run on 8 gigs of video RAM. I suspect, I mean, this one would definitely run on it. I bet this one right here, though. Let's see. They list what the RAM installation is. Let's see. Git clone that. You have to make sure you got PyTorch. Let's see. The 1.3 model is capable of 720p video. Damn. Due to limitations in training at the resolution, the results are generally less stable compared to an optional 480p resolution. Okay, gotcha. So that's the 1.3B. So if you're running the 14B model, you could get up to 720p resolution. Dude. I used Claude 3.7 to generate a distilled list of instructions for their installation. Bro, don't be lazy. Cool, it did come back. Let me zoom this out just a wee bit. Zoom out. For some reason, it wasn't taking the key commands here. All right, so this is what we wanted, was signing false. So if we look at this up here, so if we come down, let's see. Okay, so signing is true on the domain controller, but it is not true on the, what is this? On the workstation. So we could relay SMB to the workstation so long as the target didn't have SMB signing enabled. But the one cool thing is LDAP signing is not enabled. So one thing we want to do here is let's rename this this window to coercer. Let's make one more here, and we'll do the same thing. but we'll rename this to NTLM Relay X. And what we're going to do is we're going to go clone down Impact it real fast because we're going to get the latest and greatest version. Let's go copy this. And we'll just CD over to Impact it. And I think this is not using poetry. It's not. So what we'll do is we'll set up a... Oh, we don't have VNV. Okay. Shit. I need to install that. Install VNV. I remember how to do that. I think we can just install it. I think it's just an app package. Let's see. Sudo apt install. I think it's Python tac VNV. VENV. Didn't like that. Oh, it's Python 3V. That VNV. That's it. So Python 3. Get that set up. Okay, so now we should have our VENV. We don't have VENV command. Great. One of the funny things is that I really don't know where the state-of-the-art classification comes from. But now every new model starts with, we developed state-of-the-art, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, exactly. They're always like that. Is it Python 3 virtual ENV? That was VENV. Oh, we can use that anyway. Let's do virtual ENV. There we go. I think we just give it a name here, so we'll do VENV and we'll call this Impact it. And then what we'll do is we'll source this to get it activated. So we'll go to VENV Impact it, then activate. And when we source that, now you see we're actually in the subpacket here. And then we can do, what is it? Is it Python? Yeah. We'll do Python v m pip install. There we go. So now we're going to install all the packages into that Python virtual environment. All right, cool. So now if we CD over into examples, this is where all the cool tools are in here. So we're going to run NTLM. Actually, let me run. Let's see. NTLM Relay X. Let me do a head on that real fast. Something. All right, so this should work. Mission denied. What? Oh, it doesn't have execute permissions. Easy to fix. Good. Oh, cool. So that is up and working. So what we want to do is, I gotta look for the directions again, but let's do NTLM Relay X LDAP Shadow Relays. I gotta remember how to do this. The command here. Ah, there we go. So what we do is we tell, hey, what do we want to relay these to? So if we had two DCs, we could relay from one domain controller to another, but we don't in this case. Hey, I tell you what, guys, I need to run to the bathroom. I'm going to run the ads real quick because I don't want y'all to miss this. And then we'll do the relay example here real quick because I want to test something on this. So I'm going to do 2-minute ad break. So if you got to the bathroom, grab a drink, let's do that now. I'll kick those off and then we'll hit this a little bit. So be right back. 30 seconds left of the ads, and then we'll go actually set up the relay real fast. Alright, be patient. Always trying to jump ahead real quick. Alright, cool. Ads are done now. So what we're going to do here is, let me zoom in on this a bit. Basically, when we run this, we're going to tell it what target to relay to. We give it the protocol, the server, tell it we want to initiate shadow creds, and then we tell it what the target machine is that we're going to hit. In this case, we're not going to do DC01. We're going to do the Windows 11 workstation. So let's go do that real quick. So we'll do Intelum Relay X. We'll tell it the target is going to be LDAP, and it's going to be our, we're going to relay to the server. So that'll be 10.9.10.21, and we're going to tell it tac shadow creds, shadow credentials, and then we also give it what the shadow target is. So shadow target is going to be, we have to wrap this in quotes because we're going to use the $ here, but we're going to tell it, no, correction, single quotes. We're going to tell it dollar, oh shit, what was that machine called? It should hopefully tell us in here. No, it won't because it's on the other box. I think we can give it more than I would. Let me try this real quick. 10.9.10. I think we can give it 2 targets in. Just so I'll have this real fast. Come on. Anytime now. I mean, I know 11 is going to be it, but I need to get the name of that machine account. I might just have to go connect to the machine. Okay. Let's do that. Proxmox. We zoom out a bit. So we want to go into our Windows 11 workstation. Actually, no, I take that back. We don't want to be on the Windows 11 station. We want to be in the domain control. Because what I'm going to do is I'm going to go pull up Active Directory users and computers real quick. Make that any bigger? No. Rude. Open that in a new, I guess not. Local user, I believe his password is just password. Let me see if I can log in. Apologize, this is so tiny. I don't think I can even zoom in to adjust it. Nope. All I want to do is I just want to go confirm this computer's name real fast. Not in here? Really? Workstations. Ah, there we go. Yep. Okay, so that is the name of it. AD Lab Win11 22H. Perfect. We'll hop back over here. And I think that's what comes back on this as well. Why did this not come back properly? We got that back earlier. What up with it? Yeah. There was the name of it right there. So this is going to be the domain account that we want to capture. Copy that. I don't know why it's not coming back now, but you know what, screw it. Oh, I know why it's not coming back. Because we're trying to do it on LDAP, and that is not an LDAP server. Yeah, I guess that would help. All right, I'm going to run that real fast just so I can have this. Yeah, so that's the one we want to hit. So what we'll do is we're going to do $sign and that name in here. There we go. Perfect. So now you see we've got it listening on a couple of different things in here. We have it listening to HTTP, we have it listening on SMB, a couple of things. So now we've got the man in the middle portion set up. We just have to figure out how to coerce it over. So we go over to coercer real fast. Let's go ahead and run that. There we go. Do attack H real quick. All right, so we have scan and coerce mode. So our scan mode is we test out. And we do need to give it a username and a password. So do attack U users did we have. Hey, Sisyphus, what's up, man? Ultra Kill is updated from PS1 graphics to PS2. Nice. Let's see. Yeah, we do have a domain admin user. So what we'll do is we'll just use the domain user account on here. And we can test if that's going to work actually by using SMB. So what we could do is we want to test this on shit, what system is this? So do this one. At exec SMB 10.9.10.11.10.9.10.21. Our user in our workstation. So we'll set the domain to ludus.domain, I think it is. Our user would be domain user, and I'm pretty sure the password is just password. Yeah, and this tells us the authentication does work. So what we can do is we can test coercer without these two real fast. Let's see. What did we need real quick? We need... For scan mode, we want to get a target IP address. So do tag T, and we'll do 10.9.10.11. That was the user's. No, 21 was the user. And all these should fail. Really? I got to do a sudo with that. Hey, Ori, man. We're just doing a little bit of coercion test real quick because we had some questions about it, and I wanted to test out something with the coercer tool. So what's happening here is it's saying it can't listen on 445 because we have stuff running. Let's see, cap sh. Oh, well known. Remember how to set that. Shoot. Remember how to set this. Let's see. That was the command. I'm trying to remember what the cap sh command is on here. Yeah, here we go. This is the one. What this is going to do is say which poetry. See if poetry will allow it. Maybe that will work. We might have to set it to this particular Python. Invalid file for build. What? ran poetry shell, there was an issue, it said. We need to do the shell plugin. Let's see if that'll work. Shell plugin. Didn't like that. Shit. Damn Python dependencies. Remember what this damn command is. Python install, Python, show Python versions available for this environment. Let me try that. Open Python list. Will it tell me where these Python versions are? Yeah, it kind of will. Actually, we could do that. Poetry, env activate. So what we'll do is we'll source that real quick. Hey, there we go. Which Python be using? Perfect. So that's the one we want to do. So let me see if I can do this cap sh on that. Okay, it's not going to take that, but that's all right, because what we can do is put this in here. So this is our Python path. I want to see if I can allow that Python binary. If I pasted it twice, dumbass. In fact, I copied the wrong thing. It needs to be py313 bin python. Because I'm a dumbass and I copied sourcing. Okay. Sudo attack guy. Let's see. Home, galley, sir. Poetry should be installed, but I doubt it. Yep, it's not. I think setcap works on Elves, maybe. Maybe it is setcap. Well, Python should be a cap on there. You know what? Let me try that real quick. Let me try something here. What was that? It was not that. Nope, that wasn't it either. Let me CD back over to the Word server. Poetry env activate. Grab that real quick. Actually, I could just copy this one section here. Because I think this is, I'm pretty sure, 99% sure, this is just a symlink to something else. Yeah, we have Python, and Python 313. Yep, they all just go to Python. So I think that cap sh, or this, what is it? Not cap sh, set cap. I think what we need to do is set that to there. Not there. Copy. Oh my god, you suck. There we go. Set cap, and we want to set it to this actually, because this is the actual binary. I was dumbass before, and I was trying to set it to. What does this need to be? 313. 3.13. I'll probably have to sudo that. There we go. That was the issue there. All right. Source that, and then now if we run, now we should be able to just run coercer directly. Yeah, there we go. All right, so we'll do scan, and we'll give it a target, and it's going to be 10. Shit, what is that? 10.9.10.21. I gotta kill NTL and Relay X because it's listing on 445 right now. There we go. Now it's actually running. Watching you move through the commands is like watching an artist paint. Really? Because to me, it feels like a monkey banging on a keyboard. That's how I feel a lot of times. So what it's doing now is it's sending RPC commands over to 10.9.10.21. These should fail because we didn't supply any login credentials. Yeah, exactly, GoPro. Just monkey banging on keyboard. That is me. All right, I think it's probably just failing out because we didn't give it any authentication. Let's see. I think we need to get domain, which will be ludus.domain. User will be domain user. And then the password is going to be password. Okay, cool. So we're getting a lot of accessible name pipes in here. Was that you sent, Sisyphus? Oh. It came up really weird in... I can see it over in the YouTube chat, but over here, you can't really see it, but... let's go down. It just came up like with a bunch of block letters. I'm like, what the heck was this? There's a bunch of the YouTube emotes in there. Let's see, we had a successful bind to an interface for event log. Because then once we figure out like kind of what it can do, it should be running through a whole bunch of these different RPC calls, aside from what it's doing. See, there's also, let me go find probably in there somewhere. So red team notes. Let me see what they were using in. For installing tools. That's for Impacket. So they're just using the direct PDM here, the old school one. We had an update from 6 months ago. The update. What did he change in the README? He took out a line in there. Okay. But what we could do is we could also clone this out, and I could show you all that. I wish YouTube chat showed up here. Sometimes it's like I had the context of what he's talking about. So I will probably, I'm going to mess around with Restream, and then what will happen is up above me, I'll have probably a chat rolling, and then Restream will actually have the combined chat. Because I also wanted to integrate Twitter, X onto here, because a lot of the guys have had a lot of good success streaming onto Twitter as well. So it should show like, hey, this is a person chatting on Twitch, this is someone chatting on YouTube, and so it'll show up on the stream there. Ultra Kill has ultra fried my brain. Remind me what Ultra Kill is again, Sisyphus, because I'm drawing a blank on it. Let's see. It's not the right H. What do we have? So we also have coerce mode in here. Coerce, FH, let me see. So I thought for sure you could actually tell it credentials, user, filter, method, filter protocol name, method name, filter transport pipe name. I gotta look at this real quick. I want to see. I need to go look at what this filter method name is over in the coercer library because that's what I was actually trying to figure out. Let's see. Filter method. That's just a filter method name for documentation. Let me look at the Cursor HTML. Cursor mode. Okay. We have a lot of filters in here, but what does the filter method name actually come back to? All right, I don't think that's what I'm looking for either. Let's come back. All right, so we're going to add an argument for method name called action end. So where does that actually get used, though? Let's refine our search a bit. God, I got to get a new mouse. This thing is killing me. Where does this actually get used in the document? That's only in fuzz mode? No way. I'm misunderstanding this? Filtering. Desired authentication type SMB or HTTP. Oh, that'd be pretty cool. Let's see here. When it's a Bailey, I could move pretty well, but now my artist skills are in music production. Dude, I love music, and I wish I had more artistic skills. Sadly, most of my artistic expression actually kind of comes through in coding. It's my one creative outlet. So Ultra Kill, basically imagine World War I, but it keeps getting more and more violent with machines that run on blood, which basically leads to mankind's death, and the machines going through hell for blood. Oh god. It's like the vampire problem, right? Like, how do the vampires not run out of food? So we can filter pipe name, we can also filter method name. But according to this, the filter method name... Okay, that comes back in scan filter tier. I gotta see where this is getting used. Let's see, references in this file. Where else does that get you? Let's see. Export JSON. What? Where else does mode scan filters get you? That has to get used somewhere else in here. No, wait, that's it? Well, where the hell else does it get used? Argument group. Let's see. Scan filters. Documentation, bro, I needs. All right, let's go read the code real quick. Let's see. Options target IP. We have target list, we have sort, credential, processing actions, option mode, coerce, starting coercer mode. Order okay. If credentials is anonymous, this else. No credentials provided connected with null session. Targets report scanning target. Check credentials if any. If not, MSRPC and options. Filter transport name. Action coerce target. So is the filter mode just like not used? What the hell? Don't ask while Gabriel's a plushie. I'm afraid to ask now. It's gotta be... Hold on. What is going on with this code here? Okay, so here's the arg parse. Where does it return something? What gets returned from arg parse here? Options equals parser arg parse. Okay. Oh shit, they define it. Here's our options, so it's wherever options get used. That's where they're pulling it from, but I don't see something like filtering. If options filter transport name, try action course. But that wasn't the option we wanted. We wanted this filter method. That's available methods. I feel like he Alright, let me try something real quick. So last time we did... What was the method name, though? Why did this thing just absolutely run like ass? Let me try running this again real quick. See what happens. I'll tell you what, for the sake of sanity, we'll use domain admin here. Because I think it's running into a permissions issue, and I just want to get the info back real quick. So event log, we gotta add a domain admin. For some reason, the pipe SAMR is accessible, but it's breaking shit. Maybe I'll volunteer as a Neuralink test subject so I can download all the stuff I want to learn in the least amount of time. I think they're quite a ways off from that, Ty. I think they're a good ways off from that. Yeah, I don't think they're going to be Neo uploading stuff to your brain just yet. Don't get me wrong, they're getting very interesting results in this, but if younger me had heard current me say this, I don't have any interest in a lot of the transhumanist stuff anymore, like just augmenting for the sake of augmentation. For helping folks that have disabilities and they're trying to regain their normal functionality, I am all for that. Yeah, until someone hacks your brain and floods it with random thoughts. Dude, Oreo, you know what they're going to do, right? They're just going to... That's going to be the most epic Rickroll ever. When someone's Neuralink gets hacked and it just plays Rickroll on loop. Running short on time. You're not that much older than me. You got plenty of time, Ty. Why the hell does it keep getting stuck at this SAMR? We filter pipes in here? I'm pretty sure we can. Filter pipe name. Let's try that real quick, because it keeps getting stuck on SAMR. Filter pipe name. Let's try SAMR. Let's see if it'll ignore that. Oh no, that's exactly what it does. Oh god, no. I want it to not do that. It does the opposite. Oh. I don't know why I get stuck on this. I wonder if I can get rid of that pipe name. Go look at something real quick. Where does Sammer show up in the code real fast? Let's go look at this.
I'm back, baby.
Hey, Oreo. What's up, man? Let's see. The coercer method. What about scan? Does that ever show up in there? Shows up at a lot of places in here, but I don't really want to... Oh, so there's the methods. Actually, I'm a dumbass. What we can do is we could filter by particular methods. So this would be the method that we're using. So for example, this one, the method was DCE-RPC. Does it actually say which one we're using though? Why is it getting stuck there? Yeah, Ty, that's a perfect example right there. Something like that, yeah, definitely try it. Like, if it became a thing. Someone said something crazy about send them a zip bomb. Yeah, send a zip bomb to somebody with a Neuralink. Oh, God. Why is he getting stuck on this Sammer pipe? Alright. Well, unfortunately, the coercer test is eating shit on me, and I don't know why. Even with the domain admin. Let me check one more thing. Is there a way we could set a timeout in this? Let's see. Debug escape codes. Let's see. Delay between attempts and seconds. Try to always continue. No, that's not what we want. Listener IP. Link people into a new form of human botnet. That's what I'm worried about, man. Alright, guys. Unfortunately, I think that's what we're going to have to call on tonight. Coercer is not doing what I thought it would. And this is exactly why I wanted to try it out. Because this thing freaking is killing me. That's right. I want to try always one more thing. My wife hates when I say just one more thing. Okay. I'm going to try something real quick. I'm going to change this back to... Actually, yeah, domain user worked. So I want to try this. Filter pipe by event log. We'll change this to domain user. Why the hell is it just like spazzing out on me? Do we have any release candidates? This was from... I think he's got a busted copy of it. That's what I think is happening. Let's commit. Let's see. Gotta remember how to do that. Get checkout by hash. Get checkout SHA-1. Okay, perfect. So I'm gonna X out of this. What we're gonna do is we're gonna do a get checkout. That's one word. Back here. Get checkout, and then let's go find the SHA-1 of that. Commit here. Hash here. copy. Okay, I want to try running Coercer again. Maybe there was a busted copy and that's why it was a revision. So domain users is like just a very plain domain user account in here. And unfortunately, this commit does not seem to be working any better. Let me try the domain admin. Fixed HTTP authentications. Killing me, Smalls. Alright, yeah, that's where unfortunately we've got to end it for tonight. It's just not working. Which is unfortunate because this is the one I wanted to use. Super badly. Let me see who's on InfoSec streams. Just us. We are the Night Owls. Alright, GoPro, who are we rating tonight? It probably will coerce it, GoPro. It's just not behaving properly. I don't know what's wrong with this Python code. Magdalena. Alright, we're probably doing a DJ raid, but that's what we're going to hit up. Because this time of night, man, that's just kind of who we have. Our good old DJs. Let me see what kind of flow she's got. Yeah, that's going to be a good one. Okay, let's go ahead and kick that off. Unfortunately, it's getting late. I'm about to get wife aggro. I know it's going to happen, so we're going to go ahead and end it there, y'all. Everyone, thanks for hanging out. We'll be back again on Saturday. We'll do a little bit more code hacking. If I can figure out this coercion thing, we'll talk about that a little on Saturday, too. I just don't know why Coercer is being such a turd right now. So, everyone, y'all have a fantastic night. Keep kicking ass. The week's not half over yet. It's getting there. And I want y'all to remember one thing, and that is, I love you. Peace.